right now. I just want to start complaining about perfection teams.
I really want that to be the first thing that shows up in the recording. Anyway, since I've started recording now, good evening, gamers, and welcome to the 11th season of the Hole in Battle Frontier. We've got Perfection Division power rankings. Holy moly, we still have to do 3 more of these.
I mean, technically, it's not the 3rd season of the 11th season of the Hole in Battle Frontier, because we were APL for like 3 seasons.
Then shut the fuck up.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm S. I'm one of the mods here at the HBF, and I've got a number of friends also from the Perfection Division here to help the power rankings. Yes, I did get a third of the division on the PRs for this. It's very funny. Anyway, would y'all like to introduce yourselves? Perhaps going in order of the host slide thing?
List of names, yeah.
Yeah, list of names.
Oh, then it's me! Yeah, this is my league that I also share with an egg.
What's your name?
For some unbeknownst reason. I am Blin. Yes, I'm glad we've all recognized this. Yes, hello. I will shit on most people here. If you think this is bad, wait for Abyssal.
Hey, it's Rage. I'm mostly along for the ride, but I will say stuff, and this is taking way too long to start.
Yes, we have been trying to start this for 40 minutes.
To repeat, I'm Palm. I'm bad at the game.
We know.
Hi, I'm Necro. I'm the admin that does all the work, and yeah, I am vibing.
You're further living up to your name by being the person that is screen sharing for this recording.
Yes, I have made the tier list for this video. Though S did make most of the slides.
True.
So I will thank S
I
for
did
that.
make most of the slides. The only things I did not make are everyone else's one-liners.
Yeah.
Yes.
And finally, we have me, Seb, the person that should definitely not be awake at this hour. I'm only going to be here. But I'm only going to be here for the start.
Yeah.
It's not like Infernal PRs when was it Infernal last season? When I was like joined mid and stayed in it until like 5 a.m. my time?
Look, even if
Yeah,
you only stay until we reach your team, that's like...
That's going to be a
I don't
good
even want
40
to make a
minutes
guess
with the shit that I got to say about these other ones.
Yeah. So, a brief disclaimer of natural, brief disclaimer nonsense. These are opinionated and comedic power rankings. They're meant primarily for entertainment purposes. Just because we shit on your team does not necessarily mean we are shitting on you. We do not intend for this to be personal attacks, yada yada yada. I didn't purpose slide for this, but...
I fully intend for them personal attacks.
Two
no
things.
holds barred.
First off, anyone who's in Perfection has probably watched a power rankings video before. Second, yes, it is. We are insulting you personally.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Guys, we've spent 3 minutes on the title slide. Let's go on to our first team. We're gonna be going in draft position order.
Hold on, we gotta look.
True, we do have to look at the wonderful tier list.
I spent a whole 15 minutes making them.
Okay, most of these are self-explanatory, I think.
Minutes longer than I expected.
So yes, we'll go through the different tiers quick. So top tier is achieving perfection. Then we have shoe in for playoffs, will make playoff, might make playoffs, might win a game, and then of course going to Brazil. For those who don't know, Sky is Brazil. Anyway, moving on. Hey, look, it's me.
Oh, shocking. He got a Scyther, and he got a Wailord, and he rolled a pick high enough to get the Milotic. It must be nice. I hate you.
Mascot pick, please clap.
Yay!
How long has it been since you had Milo left?
3 seasons, actually. I don't think it's been that long.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
I think it was season 8.
Yeah, I
This
hate
team's
you.
kind of fat as fuck.
Yes. True.
Yeah, it's like it's chunky. I still will never understand how there can possibly be any defensive pressure on Metagross when there's Terra Umbreon, Mega Milotic, and
My
Gliscor.
only guess is that it's like the only immediate Moonblast resist, but the only Moonblast in this entire metagame that Milotic cares about is like Delta Shandy.
No, it shoots those like quite easily.
No, it gets 2-shot.
Specs, Delta Shandy.
I refuse.
If Max
I
Spit F
refuse.
Delta Regice gets 2-shot by Specs, Shandy, Moonblast, then Mega Milotic definitely does.
Yeah, I did also just notice. I didn't actually notice until now. This team doesn't have a poison.
Yeah, but that's fine because unlike
mean-
you, Necro's games don't go 417 turns.
I
Also, the
mean,
real poison
Milo,
is
Mega Milo hates T spikes. Like Gliscor's a
I mean,
decent removal, but
Run refresh.
Milo runs
pretty
refresh
easily.
most of the time. Yeah, it's actually not that big of a deal.
Yes, but
I
part
mean,
of
still
the
hates
benefits
T-spikes
of
just by,
refresh
like, if
is
you're-
that it's taking toxics, PP stalling them, and making people having to keep clicking toxic on Milotic, just naturally having to come in on the toxic spikes bites real bad. It's
Yeah.
Milotic hates hazards in general. Toxic spikes are just part of that.
and it
Yeah,
also can
Gliscor
recover
is really
force
good
recover.
removal.
Like it can force it to burn through a recover really quickly. And especially, I
Yeah.
don't love it on this kind of team when like the main removal is Gliscor, which is also your main hazard.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, can we just remember that we're talking about the person who made playoffs with mono default construct?
Yes, I loved that team. It was very pog.
That team
Was
did
that
not
the
have
last time you
a
used Mega
Pokemon who
Milo?
treats hazards like the plague.
I think
So-
it'll be
For
fine
that,
with Necro, but it is a weird team.
I still
I mean,
think
yes,
it's
it's a me team. Of course, it's weird.
I mean,
Yeah,
aside from the lack of poison, I don't think it's that weird for team. It's not normal, but it's fairly normal for you.
I mean, the weird part of this team is, for some reason, we drafted 2 amazing Terra users and then Terra'd one of them. We have
Oh, you're talking about
Circuitry and Delta
Circuitry?
Hoopa. Yeah,
Circuitry plus Hoopa is too expensive.
yeah, but my point is, like, your special offense was so bad you had to draft regular Circuitry.
I mean, regular Circuitry is not bad.
Come on.
Regular Circuitry is not bad in the same sense that Mega Delta Morlyle might have a use.
It's not that. It wouldn't go that
It's
far.
bringable. And like,
It exists more so to threaten people in prep than to actually come to games.
I mean,
Yeah,
even
that's
then,
fair.
Dark Circuitry with Degleam, Energy Ball, Voltswitch, Thunderbolt is a very bringable set. Like, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
by
or
any-
like even Scarf isn't bad. Like,
Yeah, I think it's a fine mon. It's just weird.
also versus times I can bring Blunder Policy.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, okay, this is best mon. We have to rank this.
Yeah.
It's
Do you want
a-
to look at the type chart quick? I mean, we already kind of talked about it, but
I mean, Firewind doesn't matter because you have Mega Milo.
yeah, Mega Milo, Gliscor, Terra, Umbreon kind of just is everything resists. All right, yeah, sure, let's rank.
I think this is just like a will make playoffs.
Yeah,
Maybe
this
Shoo-in.
is. I don't think
reasonable,
it's Shoo-in. I think it's Will.
Like it's
the record,
surprisingly not that like strong initially. Like it has good breakers and good like setup mons, but a lot of them rely on setup. Like Scyther can break, but it's usually setup mon. Circuitries can break, but also setup mon. Like even Tuba to some extent.
It does have a very slight lack of immediate damage, but like you can kind of remedy that just by bringing Spectre
Is it-
Band on
There's
the
a
hour.
Terra Delta Hoopa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like
In the
a lot of
weirdest
the
way
mons that you
possible.
mentioned have the ability.
In the weirdest way possible, I actually think this is one of the worst Necro teams we've seen in HBF.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't think.
Worse than Mono Defogger Hodgecrow.
I said one of. I said not the.
Okay.
But I agree with the placement. Like it's still a pretty solid
Yeah.
team, and it's like it
Yeah,
has Mega
it's
Milo
good,
and a
but
good defensive core around it. Like it will never be bad.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah, to be
It's
fair-
good, but I just think by your standards, it's a little bit.
Because to be
Fair.
fair, any Milo team piloted by a competent person should make playoffs. So
Yeah. Okay, so on to the Sylv, who... This person. There's the Mellow Mime. Wow, shocking. Oh my god, no way. Mime went second overall.
I mean, that's I'd say that's almost shocking because I feel like it goes one more than Milo does. But
Look, I'm a buttons player, and I'd still draft Milo first.
fair.
Milo just does facilitate the buttons, but we are no longer speaking of the Mega Melotic. We are on to... I definitely forgot that Goldango and Spider Gross were not just attached at the hip. I've seen so many Goldango Spider teams.
I mean, in fairness, they're
Yeah.
still a spider. It's just one that's pretending to be part of the team and definitely doesn't make the team not cringe.
True.
Yeah, this is still cringe.
I mean,
You're still cringe.
It's not it's cringe, but it's not cringe TM.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have this than an actual cringe team. Like it's
We do have to stick by our rules here.
Yes.
Mm.
You
And
might
by our
not be
rules,
as cringe,
it
but you're
technically
still
is a
cringe.
cringe. Yes.
As for the team itself, I think it's the more I look at it, it feels like it's not definitely not bad, but it just feels like pretty okay. It has fine but not great breaking power. It has
the
like
word you're
decent
looking
bulk.
for
But
is mid, Zeb.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
mid.
sure.
Every
Yeah,
Pokemon is bulkier than you expect it to be, which I find very silly.
I just think this team had a really fun and like solid top 5, and then it just added mid. Like, why is
it falls off a cliff after the Keldeo pick for sure.
I do kind of like Terra Arcanine, like in a vacuum, not
That's
necessarily on the
cool,
team,
yeah.
just like as a mon, I like it, but I don't understand why, like. Hey, I don't understand why Terra was wasted on Cyclizar. Like,
Cyclizar,
Here's
please,
good on it, but it is random.
please take a note of the comment where I used the wrong color green. Cyclizar is making me throw up a little. Like this.
Terra Cyclizar is awful.
It's not good.
You could have taken. I don't know if they could have taken it with Arcanine, but like, why did you not Terra Mesprit instead of either of those? Like, that's a much better cap on both.
Terra Mesprit is actually good, yeah.
Also,
You can
thank
afford
God
it.
they're making this after Grace ended, so that we won't get a million fucking people changing their entire teams.
I mean, we already had that. We already had that in Abyssal where everyone just made their team worse.
That's okay. We'll complain about that later.
True, we will complain about that when the Abyssal video comes out, which I don't remember what order we're doing this in, and it's not particularly relevant right now.
I don't think we even know that, but anyway.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Quickly,
this team is just... Yeah, let's look at the type chart. I forget we have that sometimes.
Really? I don't have that much to say about it, honestly.
Yeah, the type charts have been increasingly less
What is
relevant.
silly?
Who's the bird resist?
It's Goldango.
Golden
So that's a
Go.
very good one.
So my comment is
but
that
in fairness, there is a Landorus Therian that can take like physical weird hits. Okay, doesn't do anything back, but still.
Yeah. Also, the one normal resist is the Mellow Mime.
Huh?
The one normal. I mean, wait, no. Where's the normal resist?
Goldango.
Goldango.
I can words.
read my comment, Blinn.
We have so many words on this slide.
Yeah, this person is going to get absolutely fucking murdered if they have to fight the Terra X Cloud team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Cloud is going to annihilate this.
Also, just a general complaint from somebody who really, really likes Deltalax. Not having good flying answers on a team where you draft Deltalax is a very, very bad thing. That mon can basically only be killed by strong birds, so not having solid
Also,
responses to it is really bad.
I love how I just need to say this. So Delta Beldum drafted as like it's what, like 2 points? That's always for webs, right? You're not using that to fucking spike.
It doesn't even get spikes, it's just his webs.
Yeah. And then this team has like literally the only mons on this team that actually significantly benefit from webs are like Specs, like Plot Goldango, and like maybe Banded Landorus.
Nah, Landorus
The
is one
rest
of
are,
the best
like-
webs. No, Landorus is one of the best webs abusers.
I mean, in some ways you can also argue like a banned mime because it stops Scarfers from revenging mime.
I would also
guess.
agree with that. Much of this team does
Okay, that's fair,
appreciate.
actually. Yeah, it's pretty fair.
But I mean, I agree in the sense that it's not a team that abuses webs. It has like decent enough ones, but
Yeah.
let's
In
be real.
fairness, it's on the one pointer, but
It's a
also I
one-pointer.
feel like
Who cares?
I feel like you could do better things with a 1 pointer.
Where do we rank it?
Yeah,
this
This is like a.
This is
Might make
playoffs.
playoffs.
Yeah, I think
think
it's
it might
like
make playoffs.
it's just like a slightly worse team than Necro. Like it's like Necro has more better good points, while this is just like kind of just mid
It's
team.
And I will remind people, mid does not mean bad. No matter how much the fucking internet has tried to ruin the usage of the word, mid just means average, mediocre, okay, 6 out of 10.
Mediocre.
Moving on.
I mean, this is like 5 words. So.
Yeah. Who's up next?
Okay.
Oh my lord!
Yeah. So for some context, there were too many words on the screen when I was doing my funny one-liners, and so I've decided to do memes for the rest of them. And I don't think anyone else in call has seen the memes before. So, also
Oh,
this one I
no.
accidentally made the background of the slide, and I know I'm not changing it. So the team name is Dies from Cringe. They have a live pod. I don't know how that works. No one knows what anyone else is saying. But yeah,
Okay.
this team is cringe, and
Okay, so
it's not even.
all of this, the only people who didn't say something about them being cringe are I forget who Blue is. Is Blue Necro?
That's me. Yeah.
Were
Yeah, Blue's
Necro
Necro.
complaining about the ice and water resists being in Teleon? And Rage asking why you Terra a Skarmory, which look, Terra Skarmory can be legit. I do
think Terra
understand
Skarmory's fine.
saying that on this team though. Why would you Terra that instead of like the Quillfish?
I think it's just because Skarmory was no tax.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
see.
so.
Yeah.
I think it's a decent like obviously it wants to
Oh,
states
no, I
typing,
like
but
Terra Skarm. It's just like on this team where it wants to say as a steel type. Or at least I think it wants to say as a steel type.
I actually don't hate this team. I just think the Skarmory, the Coolfish, and the Chimecho needed to be punted downfield to better facilitate this. Because you have Button and Ruin Gross, you have Setup Button and Gouging, you have one of the best cleaners, in my opinion, in Zera, because you come in late game, get a bulk up off for a Calm Mind, and then you can outspeed and kill things.
Pogogo, which
Around-
is literally whatever the fuck you want, and then
Yeah,
Button.
Metacham is Special Breaker. Terrapagos is like I think it's a good one.
oh yeah, for sure.
Rakdos is a very
Low-key,
good one.
I
It's
think-
much better in Paldex, but like it's still very good.
And Loki, I've been wanting to try or see someone try Terra Inteleon for a while. I think that's a sleeper pick. Like, what's a
I
Teleon
can see Terra and
stats?
Teleon, yeah.
It's like 120 special attack, 120 speed, basically. Like 125 special attack, 120 speed, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fun fact, I've actually been playing Ranbats the entire time I've been us. So I have Showdown open. We have 125 special attack, 120 speed.
And like its major flaw is not having coverage for waters. So like
Yeah,
Terrablast,
like,
Grass, or Electric
Terra
is like really
a
solid.
lot.
It's what, like
Yeah.
Air Slash is like its only neutral. I think like
Dark
Air Slash
Pulse.
Dark Pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets Air/Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam.
It's like on this
it has
team, that's not that much of a problem. The problem is just that you're fucking cringe.
Loki, really funny. I want Mr. Dice from Cringe to bring Swords Dance Terra Inteleon 1 week. Because Swords Dance Terra Dark with like Sucker Punch.
What's the attack
Water
stat?
Oh,
Move,
yeah, it's a good
Lift
scale
One.
shot,
Give it
actually.
85 attack.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's usable. Yeah.
Oh, it could be really.
Can we get
Yeah.
wait? Can we get type chart in here for a sec? I just realized something. There's okay. Go back real quick. Just because I want to see this. The fighting resists are Metacham Delta and Chimecho, and
That's
pre-shelf like
hilarious.
On a
Rakdos.
Terrapagos Ruin Gross roster?
I mean,
Now, mind you, Skarmory
Also-
can take some fighting hits, but like
That might be what the Terra
Also,
Skarmory
so-
is for. Turn it into Terra Ghost, now
So-
you're spin blocking. That's kind of cool.
You want to know something else? Resist that we don't have.
What?
Where's your Moonblast resist?
Also the Skarmory.
The
Yeah, let me
earthquake
just-
is also the same Skarmory.
Yeah, there is.
Man,
one
this
left.
Skarmory is like fucking Tobey Maguire holding the goddamn train back. Like,
I was gonna say people were saying my Metagross was like barely holding the team together. This Skarmory is
No, no, no,
literally
no, no.
barely
we were
Let's-
holding
too
the
busy
team together.
talking about the
Yeah,
team being
like-
cringe to look at the type chart. I apologize.
By
the way,
so
this
a
is
Mega
cringe.
Milotic Moonblast to just Fizdef Skarm
Right, don't say
for
it yet.
no
Don't say it
special
yet. I'm
attack
gonna take a guess.
investment.
45 min, I'm gonna guess.
No, it does like 30%, but still. If
Okay,
that's
yeah.
if that's
my
a,
Ludic also knows Scald.
Like,
yeah.
see, like
Also,
Moonblast into Water Move, it's a chance to just outright kill Skarmory.
Oh yeah. Do we
Also,
want to know what the funny Specs Chandelure calc is?
80.
Moonblast?
Tell me it's 80,
Find out later,
please.
go. After rocks.
I'm gonna say that it does
Um,
101.
Wait, what? Oh, because
gonna
for
guess
some...
mini
Oh,
80.
I'm looking at regular Chandelure.
Oh,
Okay.
Make sure it's modest.
Yeah,
Make sure it's
it
modest.
does half. It does half. That's Scarf
Is that-
as well. That's
Oh,
that's
is that
Timid
modest?
Scarf.
Oh, God.
That's Timid
Scarf.
Scarf does half.
Did you remember to do
I'm
level
so
120?
lucky that you were the one that
Oh, yeah, you did.
to mention.
So if we have max Spidef calm, Moonblast is minimum 50%.
Yeah, Skarmory is
Um,
There is not
not
a
very
single mon
especially
on this
active.
team that lives 2 Specs Moonblasts.
I feel
Yeah.
like this team is in a position to get weirdly, uniquely fucked by like fucking Delta Liebhard of all things.
No.
so
What
can
it's
we-
going to get fucked by is my Escavalier. Because I'm
Also,
going to
can we
get
just-
Trick Room.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, also, this is another team that gets fucking murdered by that goddamn Explode.
Oh yeah.
The only
Also,
one who resists are the Scarf and the Metagross.
And also, this
Um,
team is quite fast, so Trick Room is like a bit of a.
Oh yeah,
I
you
was-
get Trick Room
I was
side
talking the
fucking
other
heavy.
day about how Stunfisk is actually quite fast for Trick Room, like consider 57 speed. My Mega Stunfisk underspeeds this entire team.
It does.
Just
Yeah.
fucking run jolly and still outrun some of this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, we
Let's rank this. Let's rank this
Yeah,
team.
I
let's rank
think
it.
this is like
So we should
Might
all
be again.
collectively shed a tear for this guy's Garchomp matchup. Like that Life Orb
Okay,
Garchomp
true.
legitimately sucks
okay.
this team.
I feel like
Rootgross
to
actually
say something
handles
real
Garchomp
quick,
fairly well.
I feel like the offense is too good to be might win a game. I feel
No,
like
this is my win game.
I'd
Really?
still might make playoffs.
I'm say might make playoffs. Like it's still like the resistance problems are bad, but like I feel like
It's
they're
like the
manageable
bottom
depending on
of my make
matchup.
playoffs.
Yeah, like very
Yeah.
very bottom of my make playoffs. Like
But it could go down depending on
We
the
might
other.
adjust it down depending on
it
how
depends
the other
on-
teams.
yeah,
are.
depending on the final context of the tier list, I could see it going down. But
Yeah.
for now, I don't think I could
The
comfortably
next one will
argue
be
for
my
anything
final
more.
team. I'll have you to say your piece, and I can like
What?
react.
Fuck.
It's some brief onslaught.
Oh, I looked away for 2 minutes and now we're here.
That's right.
Yeah, it's some brief onslaught. So let me get into the lore.
Sure.
AC at the beginning of every season rolls a random mega. And Zeb has been sniped off Mega Zeb like twice recently.
2 seasons in a
So-
row, yes.
Yeah. So first season in Perfection, Zeb was like, "Oh, no one's stupid enough to take Zeb like round 1 or 2. I'll be fine." AC rolled Mega Zeb, so that is why we have a pick 4 Mega Zeb striker, because otherwise it was going round 1.
Yeah.
So we drafted Mega Zeb, and then we convinced Zeb to get Palafin, and from there, I think one of us must have been offline, because then it's just thick. It's thick plus an Azov, which you
Blend
can tell
add-
when the rest of us were online. Because
Blend
I can
add-
confidently say I was online for the Mega Zeb, the Palafin, and the Azov pick, and that's about it.
But to add a little bit of context to this, I was in call with Zeb when he was considering the P2 Mesper or the P2 Azov picks, and I'm exaggerating a little, but I more or less had to beg the guy to get the Azelf because he wanted P2 Mesprit, and then his entire
I do want to say, I know you're exaggerating. I do want to say it was P2 or Yuxi Azelf, and then another one. I wouldn't go P2 and Yuxi. It was either of them, not both. Because I know I like both, but I also needed speed, which is why I ended up with Azelf. But still, feel free to continue with like roasting my team.
Yes.
Yeah, like I think this team is decent.
I think it's cool. I like
Yeah.
it.
One of my things is like breaking for Melmetal is actually going to be a bit hard because you kind of want to break like your sort of steel
Tingle can
resist.
kill
So break.
steals.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the only Palafin kills the fires, Tingle kills the steels.
It's many water types that. Well,
Yeah,
yes, no, I
water-
have two electric. I mean, well, it's a certain few water types. Water grounds can maybe be an issue.
Water grounds, sure.
Or like,
but
or
like,
water immune grounds. Or never mind. Yeah.
So
yeah, water immune grounds, or even just
There's like
ground
four.
types. But yeah, there's a fair few. Also, like
don't resist smell metal, so
yeah, but yeah, I think it's decent. I
Yeah,
don't know why there's a drift bloom on this team. I don't know why I haven't noticed the drift bloom until now.
It's because I had like 3 points. I just wanted I just scoured the 3 points. What seems like a decent, usable mon. I have had a like somewhat poor fighting response, and Riffle seems fine for 3 points. I don't know if it'll come to a game, but like it's a usable fighting answer. Sometimes,
also it does mean that there's a mod with explosion on his team.
That is
Hey, team is egg legal.
So the Ivysaur and the drift bloom are 5 points each, like 5 points combined. Why not just find a fun 5-point delta?
Because I think Ivysaur is more fun than most of the other ones.
But you could have got
I love Delta Ivy. I was away from the VC for a minute, but yeah, just insert any positive Delta Ivy rants from previous PRs into here. I love that little goober. It's my little guy. That's my sparkly.
Also, I do have to go. Yeah, I do also have to go there soon. I will also say just quickly, like, I'm very much aware this is far because like I picked around one Mega Seb or picked 4 Mega Seb when like Mega Eevee, Chandy, basically every good insurgent besides my Melon Ruin was on the board. I should pick one of those if I wanted to go like properly, but I wanted to make a Seb, and like from that base, I think I did about as good as I could have.
Sometimes committing to the bit is more important than making the correct decision.
Like there's some obviously issues, like my hazard game is Tinglu, and that's Tinglu. My removal is decent, but like not ideal. But otherwise, like I'm happy with the team.
Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. I wouldn't even call it decent. It's like solo Rotom Wash. That's not great.
Yeah. But also, I will have to head off now. Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us, Zeb.
Okay, now that Zeb's gone, let's shit on the hazard game some more. This is coming from someone who doesn't draft removal ever. This is garbage removal.
Yeah, Rotom Wash removal. Well, there is also a drift plan, but like as Zeb said, that's probably not coming.
Rotom Wash is a decent remover, but not solo.
Rotom Wash has to be like one of the main ways to break water types, but it also has to run Defog every week. And if it's running Defog every week, then there's no point in spike stacking with Tinglu.
I mean, in fairness, you could just choose not to run Defog.
Yeah, but
it's always just a choice. The Gen 4 strata, just fucking deal with it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things in this team like Tinglu, Melmetal, P2 that just don't like taking spikes chip. Like they become a fair bit worse. Like Tinglu is a beast, but Tinglu, if it can only come in at 80%, is significantly less of a beast.
This is essentially day number 967 fucking thousand of complaining that Delta Tentacruel doesn't get rapid spin.
So true.
Yeah.
Every person complains about
so
that every
there's-
moment of every day.
There's zero
Also,
fucking
it's
reason
kind of-
that mod
yeah.
should not get rapid spin.
Is
That
the
mod
type
doesn't have
card
it.
worth looking at all? Let's take a quick look.
So basically, to Zeb's exact point, that fighting type chart is a bit fake because the 3 main resists are the last 3 mons. So Bandit CC looks really fucking scary into that team.
There.
I mean,
And one of them is Mega
you also
Strike.
you just there's just a Terra Porygon. So I think
Yeah,
on any
Terra
team,
Porygon.
Porygon
Resist
season.
profiles are irrelevant. Terra P2 is forever.
Well, there's the
Uh,
problem of that the P2 has to get the Terra off.
Yes, but that's
yeah,
not
just
hard.
lead it. You lead P2, you click the Terra button and you could teleport, and then you just you won the momentum game.
Yeah, especially when you have a Tingle in the back for a Ghost Resist, so you don't need to stay as a normal type.
Yeah.
You want to be reasonably careful of knockoff because a lot of these mons don't love taking it. Tingle can obviously take it damage-wise, but doesn't want to.
Low key,
In general,
Terra
we don't have
P2
the-
doesn't even need a TV light. Like that one is still finely bulky without it.
Yeah.
Like if it gets knocked, it's not the end of the world. This
Especially if it
is
traces something valuable.
yeah. This is in might, but it's above the cringe team.
It's above Gold Cut, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Let's go to
sure.
the next team. Whose team is this?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I've forgotten what meme I did.
You,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Newman.
Can we have a look at this team's speed? We have 180 in Dio speed.
Yes.
We have Excadrill in Sand. We have Mega Eevee, which
Yep.
becomes Jolteon. We have Lilligant, who's one of the best Scarfers. And then we have 6 tons of shit before we get down to the Analog.
This is admittedly genuinely one of the funniest, most deceptive speed charts on the right hand of the dock that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show the Jolteon, it doesn't take the Sand Rush into account.
Yeah, so
Also, Rage, why is Eevee going to have to be Leafeon? What are you trying to break here?
I was saying that because the Grand Resist doesn't exist.
Well, you're not going to Leafeon to be the ground resist. The ground resist is the Terra Delta Avalog.
it might not even to Terra depending on the ground.
Okay, in
Yeah,
fairness,
break
even
down
Terra
the
Delta
Delta
Avalog is
Avalog.
not taking an Earth Power from fucking anything.
I
Yes,
reckon it can. Let me find this.
Okay, it's not taking a real Earth Power. Don't fucking come up with some fake Earth Power calc fucking Delta Venusaur or something.
I do
Okay,
think in general as well, the ways of breaking waters are suboptimal as well. It's basically just the Eevee.
In
And
fairness,
on a-
that's a really fucking good way of breaking water.
That is one of the best ways of breaking waters, to be fair. Also, Dio breaks them. Lilligant, I feel like it's Energy Ball.
It's a Delta.
yes, but that
it
does
gets
not count as
Thunderbolt at
breaking
least. I know
waters.
that for sure.
So Palm, just on the taking an Earth Power, does taking 35% from a Mega Stunfisk's modest Earth Power count as okay?
What typing is that?
I just made it a grass.
Okay, did you remember that Mega Stunfisk gets Sludge Bomb?
Yeah, Sludge Wave Okos, but we're not going to talk about that. But my point is, it can take an Earth Power.
Yes, but does it take the coverage? Context matters, Flynn.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
That's funny.
Yes, it does.
Also, as a rock type, it lives in Earth Power.
I guess that is true. It does technically live it because of the Sand Boost.
So that's fine. This thing has, and that's also a Mega Stunfisk. If we're talking a Nidoking, even a neutral.
The
Terra
Nidoking
is-
also has every fucking thing. Okay, we're getting off topic. Why the fuck is the Crustal
Yes.
Berry here? Why do
I
you
don't
have
know.
this?
Again,
You
this
have a Drapion. You don't need this for a grounded poison.
So much of this team is just irrelevant. The Dio speed doesn't need to be here. The Berry doesn't need to be here. The Duosian doesn't need to be here.
Person actually drafted fucking Geospatial Insurgents. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this team has like 6 really good mons. And by that I mean out of the 7 usable mons, like it equals 6 really good ones. And then just decided not to keep going. Just strong special hits in general are gonna murder this team.
Yeah,
Like,
that was my comment. Mods with SPDF stats are for suckers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we need to do the infernal PRs because this dude's been pinging me like 16 times asking why getting a Namorous on a rain team is a throw.
Okay, guess we're doing those.
Okay.
Wait, Enamorous?
Hi, Cammy.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
have been on my rain team. You're gonna get to explain that, Blinn.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. I'm assuming the rest of the rain team built around it is probably worse than yours.
Well, there's a Chen Pao on it.
There's also a team.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's look at the type chart of this.
Yeah.
Hey, if I were doing Infernal.
So there's no ice resist. Well, there is
the
one.
ice
but
resist is Urshifu Rapid.
So the ice types, funnily enough, if you're new to draft, ice types most commonly use Ice Beam, which is a special move. And special moves target the opponent's SPDF stat, of which Urshifu does not have.
Yeah.
What are the
Urshifu
two-
every week. Woohoo!
What are the 2 fairy resists? Because I know one of them's Berry Crossel, so that's not counting.
One of them is very crossable. The other one is Excadrill. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no fairy resist either.
Just traded them like this.
Sex
Well, there's
Excadrill's
a
got at
play rough
least some
resist. There's
spice.
still no Moonblast resist.
I feel like this team could still be worse than it is, though. Like, I don't love it.
Oh yeah, it could be very worse. Cough cough abyssal cough cough.
I mean, like,
yeah.
they still drafted, like, at least, like, some good offense. And, like, we already talked about, like, this speed actually is genuinely really well covered.
Yeah. Also, this is going to come up later in the draft. I think Perfection players have had a little bit of dementia, where they know a good pairing for some mons. Like, they know Eevee goes well with weather, they just put the wrong weather on it. And some people know that certain mons go well with terrain and just put the wrong
terrain.
Lynn, you're
Or
misunderstanding that
shadowing.
this is a deliberate decision.
I know, but I'm still
Foreshadowing is
gonna.
a literary device.
Yeah.
Oh, I will kick you from HBF and this call if you start talking English literature.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, let's tier this team.
I was quoting a robber guy, you fucking idiot.
I think this is top of Might Make.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, no,
That's
below
generous.
Sylve. I think it's better than Zeb, worse than Sylve.
That is very generous.
I
You reckon?
agree with Tom. I think this might win a game, but I don't know.
Okay, then yeah, shove it in might win a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can
I
kind
also
of see
do like
both.
the West symmetrical. Well,
Yeah,
no one's going to Brazil yet, so let's keep going. We're up
Yeah.
to
Yes.
the horse at the beach
Yes.
Why is it man?
because that's the thing that came up when I searched.
Horse at the beach.
Because there's a
Why
Terra
is there a
Glastria
horse
at the
Oh,
beach.
Glastria. Okay.
There's a Terra Glastria that's at the beach, which is Aurora's.
I see.
I see.
And there's a
Okay.
tumbleweed going across the beach, which means that it's empty, which is why
Wait, you're
there's a
telling me
horse
that
at
you
an empty
Googled
beach.
horse at the beach without knowing what the man meme is?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. I'm old. I don't understand.
No, I'm
memes.
just saying, like, I'm surprised that, like,
I wanted
I
there
feel
to be
like
a
I've
horse on the
said this
beach.
before, is why. That's all.
Well, probably. So there's an Iron
It's not
Valley,
Juan,
which is
but
a good
it's still a
mod.
good horse meme.
There's an Aurora's Delta, which is I don't know why it's round 2. I don't know
Yeah,
why the
fair.
Lucario is round 3. Heatran, I just don't like Heatran, but that's just me. Terra Nova and Terra Glastrier, I think is actually one of the better uses of Terra in this league because they both seem really
I
good.
agree. Hey,
Yeah, they're
Um,
both pretty good.
Why is the Regieleki here? Like, can someone explain this to me? Is
Spin.
it
The
for
removal
removal?
smile.
It's not. Because Regieleki dies after removal.
Yeah, but they're not
If
doing
that-
it with their Noivern, so it's the removal smile.
God, I'm so glad that I drafted a Glamora after looking at all this garbage removal.
To be fair, their hazard game in general is just straight bad, like really bad. Like
Yeah, it's like
they have shit removal, as we've already said, and their setters. Yeah, no, like they have shit removal, as we've already said, and they have really bad. And like Keytrain and Tangela are okay setters, but like Keytrain can run rocks when you need it to, but you're basically giving 40% of its health, and to do that more often than not, Keytrain is generally very health
Also,
dependent.
Keytrain these days, I feel like really likes running Assault Dust, so
To a degree, yeah.
not every week, but like enough that that's like an actual concern when it comes to setting rocks.
Barely I'm
Yeah.
behind the curve. I have never heard of anyone ever running AVE Tram before.
Yeah, I haven't. I
Really,
can't say I have either.
maybe it's just bias for. It's
Maybe,
probably just
maybe
bias for
Glenn and I
personal
are just
experience
old
then.
men, but
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm closer to Palm's Edge, and I've never heard of it much either. But I do see the vision at least.
Okay, maybe it might just be bias then from like personal
think so.
experience.
Yeah, I've never heard of
I
Assault
have
Vest Heat Train in my
never heard
life.
of that.
I've heard of
Okay.
Shuga Heat
Can we
Train.
also-
Not just
Okay.
me.
Can we also comment
Anyway.
that they got the second best low tier normal? Because
Sure.
Double
I
bet.
like double.
well, you
don't
don't
see.
like double better than Greedon.
No, I definitely don't like it more than Greedon, but I do like it.
That's why I said it's the second best.
Yeah, I didn't
enough.
disagree with you. Anyway, yeah, we're base 100.
It's
True.
fine.
A
It's
speed gap
fine.
over
Well,
100.
not that it
It-
needs it. It's just like I feel like
it's
you
not
covered
real, I can't
literally
hurt you.
everything else. It just bothers me that it's not here.
I believe this team's just mid. It has really good Terra users. I do agree with Blinn there,
Yeah,
but
It's
kind of
mid.
I do
Like
also
it's got
really like Mega Delta Lucaria, but
Pecharon and Auroras are good slow pivots. The Aleki is pointless here. Get some real removal. Tangle is a fun one. I don't know how much it fits being a second ground type, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Tangler is the second ground type and the water immunity when you have a pick 3 ground type and a quad water resist that doesn't care about being scald burned.
I mean, it's a suitably different ground from Lucario. Lucario does not count as a ground for defensive purposes.
Yeah. But also, then you remember that one of the types Glastria likes being the most is Terra Ground.
Ah,
Because you get Mamoswine stabs.
Yeah. You just kill the steals real
Yeah.
and
good.
also you can actually like leverage your really good bulk line by being in a decent
Yeah.
defensive type thing.
I do still
Yeah.
understand Tangela's purpose here, though, because as we mentioned, the Delta Lucario is not an actual ground defensively. So if it worked for that, their only electric resist would be the Reggie Aleki, which is really terrible. So having the
It is
Tangela
funny,
run
though.
serves some purpose.
It is fine. The Aleki needs to be yeeted, the double needs to be yeeted, and then this team would be decent. And even the Tangler, just ditch those bottom 3, get some better removal, and like, I don't know, a cool dude.
Yes.
Honestly,
Something
he
else
just dropped
that
that.
not cringe.
Actually, no, I know why the Tangler's here. The Tangler's here so this team isn't cringe. That's the only reason.
It might be actually.
Okay, so where are we ranking this team?
I think
Yeah, I don't
this
think
is
it's
like
like-
an,
We can take a really quick look at the type chart, but I don't think there's anything noteworthy.
Holy
But-
fucking
Yeah, that's fine. There's like a fighting immunity
yeah, we're-
into.
I think this is like a.
Let me remind myself of Sylv's team. I think it's below Sylv, above Zeb. I think this is better than Zeb's team, but I think it's worse than the mellow Delta Lax Golden Go team.
Okay. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Yeah, I don't know if I fully agree, but I understand the logic. Even just like off of the Terramons and having a.
Okay, so yeah, so we saw.
I.
Oh boy.
So
I don't even
can
know
I
what
just
the joke is. It's just amusing.
can I get everyone who's watching this to just do an exercise? You're gonna take your left hand, and you're just gonna hold it up to the screen so that you're covering the Chen Pao, and we're gonna pretend that there's 8 mons here. How does this team kill anything?
With Latios, you drop Dracos on stuff.
Basically, fixed rhythm. That is about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it has
I
to
mean,
be
I will
Latios.
say straight up, I really, really don't like this team, like, at all.
I don't know.
This is an
Yeah.
exercise in Egg trying to get Chen Pao banned from the league.
This
This
is
is an exercise in Egg thinking that balanced means I drafted Chen Pao and then Zapdos and Tapu Fini count as my other offensive mons.
There is a
No, that's
Latios
fine.
there, boss.
Unironically, Blin, again, there's a Latios. But
Yeah,
like,
I know, but I'm like, yeah.
I actually talked with Egg about this, and literally the entire concept of this team, which is why I put this comment here, is his whole point is that he drafted every counter to Mega Sunflora. That's literally the point.
Yeah.
it's
So that's why
still one of the
Vespiquen,
worst-
Zapdos, Muck, and Latios are all here. Is that they're Mega Sunflora counters.
Okay, what is the type? Is it like fire dark?
It's
Fire-
Fire Grass.
it's Fire
Grass.
Fire grass?
Yeah.
That's still one of the worst fucking megas in the game. It's okay. Egg, Mr. Schmidt. The problem is not that there are resist to its dual stabs. The problem is that it has base fucking 45 speed and like how does the ability work?
The ability you get an Omni boost, I think for however many the turns are determined by how
like-
many dead allies you have.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a comeback mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But the problem
if you're
is
drafting a
drafted-
mega that gets stronger by having dead allies, why did you draft a bunch of
Dying.
five?
Yeah, because the allies aren't dying.
Yeah.
Oh, so to Zed's
Yeah.
point that he put on the slide, like his team should, in theory, be very dependent on Toxic to make progress, and there's a Fini. Why?
Yeah, the Fini is
Yeah.
so out of place. Like, I just don't
Actually,
understand
the
it.
Fini
This is
straight up makes the
also-
Latios worse. Like
It
Yeah,
does.
it does.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah, it
there's
does. It makes
fewer
it way
Dracos.
worse.
that's why I was
Yeah.
feeling tempted. Like I thank you for pointing that out because for some reason I was feeling like this was a team of 5 and then nothing else, and I couldn't put my tongue on why I didn't like the Fini. That's why. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Also, as Palmer said on the slide, this is the single worst use of Terra in the league. Like,
Okay.
honestly, this team is going to be ranked going to Brazil because they've
Yeah.
taken a mechanic that is broken and just completely
Hey,
ignored it. It'd be like
I am
it'd
a
be
person
almost
who
like
straight
a
up
Gen
doesn't
7
like
draft.
Terra,
Not
like on a conceptual level, and I feel insulted by the use of Terra here.
yeah, like it's fine not to like Terra and not to want to draft something like Terra Haxorus that Terra's clicks Dragon Dance and wins. But don't just like not draft it. Like
This feels like
If
the
you're
type
gonna
of
not
Terra
draft
you
Terra,
if you
go
are
all
trying
in.
to draft a serious team. Like
yeah. Like what's
this feels like a
what's the
team that
Furfru
wasn't
doing?
made with the intention to seriously compete. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Um,
Anyway, yeah, this team fucking sucks. That's I agree
The,
with Win.
the Furfro is the non-Chen Pao Ghost Resist smile.
yeah, the Furfro is never
True.
coming to a game. Like, let's be real here. The Reuniclus,
Not.
the
No.
Reuniclus, it's a fine mon, but like, what are you benching for it?
Okay.
Probably the Fini.
Yeah,
The
I don't know what you're
Sunflora.
betting for.
The Sunflora, like, there's no. You haven't drafted a way to punish Scarfers. Because what's your way to punish Scarfers? Are you going to Scarf
Yeah, because
Latios?
even with
Or are you going to
the
Scarf
boost,
Chen-Pao?
it's still really slow.
Like, this team, actually, like, I really hate the speed tiers here. Because, yeah, Chen-Pao's good, but there's no good Scarf options. Like, Scarf Latios is okay, but
Yeah.
what are you locked into? Are you
Zapdos,
locking into
maybe Scarfini.
you
Like-
scarf Dracoing when you've got a Tapu Fini? You scarf
can't.
Psyshocking in a metal with 1,000 more steals and darks. So choice scarfers are going to have their way with you. And then there's a Sunflora, which is the mon that like you're trying to draft. Also, I will say something really funny in our commissioner's chat, and I'm going to leak this. Egg said, "Oh, if Sunflora doesn't work out, I'll probably just put Meganium on this team."
Then why didn't you draft it in the first place?
Well, like, I mean, fair enough they want to use the Sunflora, but that's not beating the stall allegations.
No.
Yeah, because
Like,
Meganium is just
I
a
just
stall.
hate this entire team.
That's
This
just-
team fucking
yeah.
That's
sucks.
just Chen Pao stall if this becomes Meganium. Yeah, it's just straight up Chen Pao
But
stall.
also, if you're going to draft Chen Pao stall, at least do it properly. Like, Vespiquen is the only proper mon for Chen Pao stall because it's the super slow Volt Switch button. Which means that your opponent has their offensive mon in, go into a Vespiquen, you eat the hit easily, and then you click slow Volt Switch, and then your opponent's shit out of luck because you've got a Chen Pao in that kills them or does 50% to their switch in.
Also, if you
Everything else, like
don't draft Missy Terrain.
Yeah, like Zapdos has got momentum, but I think its momentum's a bit too fast for that. Like, it could still work.
Yeah.
Muck doesn't have momentum, neither does Reuniclus. Latios now gets Flip Turn, I guess. Makes it slightly better Scarfer, but again, it's too fast because you don't want to be... Like, when Chen Pao is your only thing getting kills, you have to be so careful with how you play it. And I think last season we had this complaint about Egg's team, where it was the Darkness team with the Celesteela, and we said, well, if the Darkness mons don't get all the kills, then Egg is shit out of luck. And then Egg proceeded to have their kill leader as the Celesteela, which is fine because that's a fat mon that can be used offensively and is quite good if you use it offensively.
Yeah.
The only one of those that is here is Zapdos, and I still don't think Zapdos is super amazing offensively.
It was once upon a time, but like between Insurgents and Gen 9 and even Gen 8 power creep, like
yeah, it's just the bulk
time.
power creep. Like, if Zapdos had a way to boost his special attack, like if Zapdos had Calm Mind, I think I'd like this team a lot more. Because
I don't think I would. I think my opinion would be
I think I'd like it a lot more in saying if you ditch that Finny and your 2 Terramons for, like, get a broken offensive Terramon like a Terra Haxorus or something, and get a different fairy type, then I think this team would be fine. But it's just not having any ability to get strong offensively out of Vespiquen, Muck, Zapdos, Finny, and Furfur has just made this team not great.
Yeah, it's gonna feel really awkward to pilot. I agree.
I mean, we're gonna look at the resist profile, and the resist profile is gonna be good because. Oh, should we look at the thing first? Or we can put it.
We'll do that first, and then we can look at the resist profile.
Yeah, like the resist profile here is going to be good because this is what happens when you draft a bulky team. Like, there's a lot of resist to everything. Like, the worst.
I love the ground 4 immunities and then 0/0/0s.
That is really funny. The ghost resist, as we talked about, is the only like not good one. But yeah, the rest is like, this is actually a really balanced type chart. And there is only one normal resist, but the normal resist is a Delta Vespiquen.
So you're pretty set.
Really good.
And Delta Rayon.
Delta Vespiquen is simultaneously so much less and so much more bulky than I expect every time that I battle it.
Oh yeah. I think it's cool. Okay, let's move on to the next team. Who is the next team? The next team is Ben. Ben has drafted Doc Ock because I assume he is sick of me beating him with some bullshit random Trick Room mon. So he drafted one for himself. Fun fact, the meme is, I think at a point 3 seasons in a row, I played Ben and I won with just the most random Trick Room mons. One of those seasons I ran Choice Specs Delta Registeel Eruption. Another season I ran like Snorlax in Trick Room. And I think one season I did an actual real mon. But yeah. I like this team. I like this team a lot, actually.
The meme just randomly reminds me of the fact that Garchomp gets fucking is it called Wildfire? The like 75 accuracy.
Yeah, Wildfire. So the Garchomp can Will-O-Wisp you in this format.
That's like actually like it's.
You want to know what's even funnier? Is how Wildfire works if you do it on grass types.
Yeah.
I know.
So for people who don't know, is if you Wildfire a grass type, every single mon on your team that is weak to fire now gets burnt.
On the opponent's
what is the
team,
type
rather.
Yeah, on the opponent's team. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I mean, yeah, that's the entire point of the move.
Yeah, but the thing is, what type do you most commonly switch into Garchomp?
Fairy.
Yeah, exactly.
To resist those earthquakes.
I've done it
Yeah.
before,
Also-
and then I think I either whiffed or I didn't get to click it.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I need to look up what Frostlass does.
It's fur
It has
coat.
fur coat,
fur
and it
coat.
just clicks random normal Frostlass buttons.
Yeah, okay,
It's
120
just
in special.
a faster Frostlass with like what's the base defense? Is it like 80?
85. So
Yeah,
pretty
no,
good.
it's like
Let's run
actually
some
surprisingly
counts.
fat as well.
Pretty solid.
Omega.
I will say easily.
Someone give me a physical button. Rage is here, so we're gonna go Snorlax, Delta. Like if we go Adamant Adaptability. Where are we? I can type fast. Woodhammer. A no bulk, actually, like even just a max HP Frostlass lives 2 of those with fur coat. And if you want to go
Really?
like,
Wow.
yeah, and if you want to go full like Fizz Def, like max bold takes 30% from an adamant adaptability Woodhammer. That's not even a resist. So I think that's like really cool. One of my other things that I really like, I like UFI on this team because it can trap a lot of the things that Katana and Chandelure don't like. I just like this team. I think it's really good. I
Honestly,
really like the Terramons.
The Terras are cool.
The only minor thing I'd say is Doc Ock being here when there's a Delta Shandy. I think like maybe could have been a
little overkill.
funnier button.
Right.
It's a
Yeah,
little overkill. And with
I
9
think-
point, yeah,
if I may,
you may.
Yeah.
So how much is the Delta Bergbite? What's the price of that? Is that 1 point?
It is 1
Two?
point. Yes,
It's one.
it is
Yeah.
1.
Okay, so I really like most like almost this entire team. Like that top 7, I think is really really cool. The only thing is like, I think the Trick Room here is not good enough to justify Doc Ock, right?
Doc
Like,
is good
yeah.
enough without Trick Room. You can absolutely
Yeah,
use
Doc-
Doc
yeah,
without
so-
Trick Room.
But like Blinn said, on a team with Delta Chandelure, no,
Fair enough. It doesn't really
and
earn
it's really
its
hard to justify.
keep as much
I
when
feel
it's
like
outcompeted.
if you downgraded the Doc Ock, surprisingly enough, and axed the Bergmite and got like a mix of like a 4-pointer and a 2-pointer or 2 3-pointers to fill
Did you
like
realize
really
Doc is
niche
9
roles.
points.
Yeah, Terra
Doc
Doc
is
is
9
9,
points
and
with-
Bergmite is this
Terradoc's
team's
9?
removal.
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
think if you redid that and then maybe got yourself like another really cool Terramon or like a more a better 1-pointer or 2-pointer, because like I don't think the Bergmite. Okay, the Bergmite actually does bring me to the one actual flaw with this team, which is that Bergmite is the only removal on the entire team.
Yeah, bit of an issue
Um,
there.
You know
Or I can
what
touch on
you
it.
know how you fix this, and I have the perfect way to fix this. You drop the Doc Ock and you pick up Terra Delta Raichu.
That's actually not a bad idea, genuinely. Like,
But yeah, that's what you do.
I do think my biggest issue with the team personally, unless I'm missing like Doc Ock or Shandy's stats, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the second highest SPDF stat on this team is Garchomp. So Mons holding choice specs can go kind of ham into this, at least from what I think.
UFI is 100 HP, 100 SPDF.
It's
Yeah.
UFI is a Pixie. Frostlass has 105 SPDF.
It's a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not perfect,
Well,
like
there
there
was
is still an
UFI
argument to be made
across
there,
the
but
board.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. I like this team. The other one
I
that
honestly think, yeah. Okay. Oh wait.
ground issue.
What's the ground immunity?
the ground
yeah.
immunity is
Wheezing.
Wheezing, okay.
Wheezing.
Wheezing is really good, and we have to keep in mind 2 of those weaknesses are the Bergmite and the Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Because there's
It's fine,
also
like-
Kartana can eat Earthquake really easily, and so can the Frostlass. So that actually doesn't
Another
look
I-
really as bad as it seems.
Another
The
idea
Ghost
I just
Resist
had
is the
for this.
Greninja.
Another idea I just had for this team
Yeah.
is to drop the last two, pick up a mon that I think is really underrated. Terra Toadstool, which is 5 points, gives you decent removal, and then you can also pick up like a either a normal type, which there's so many of the low tier normal types,
Yeah.
or you could pick up another removal option and just have 2 low tier options, which there's a fair few. You could pick up a Rotom Fan, although you probably don't want a third electric type. But I think that's another good one. There's,
Electric flying type.
yeah. But yeah, just as a thought, like there is plenty of decent removal down there. But yeah, I think this. The other thing
Alright,
is
let's-
Terra Claydol is 5 points. I think this is a shoe-in. I really
I
like
agree,
this team.
honestly. Like
I think that's reasonable.
any of the flaws that we've pointed out can be very easily adjusted by just
They're
adjusting
pretty
the two
minor.
bottom.
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't call the removal minor when you're running Mega Frostlass Chandelure.
I do think we need to drop the top 2 to make it like a guaranteed shoe in, but I'm fine
Bottom
putting it
2.
there regardless. The top 7's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this is good.
I think this
Um,
team's
but-
quite good.
Oh, look, this guy.
What the fuck is that?
I was just like looking for memes, and I'm like, you know what? I wonder what comes up if I do Blinn meme, and that came up, and I
Oh my
feel like
goodness.
that's kind of just my drafting style, and I love that.
7+ off.
Blend.
I like the Blinn team checklist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very good.
Oh goodness.
Also, I'm
Yeah.
curious to know what's the one good mon on my bulk line, because I feel like there's 2.
it's
I feel
easy.
I feel like Escav and Giesing can be like my bulk line.
Also, Delta Munchie is much fatter than most people expect. That thing's like
Oh, it's. I played a funny preseason game against Cammy, who hacks the shit out of me. Hacks the shit out of that Munchlax specifically. Munchlax lived 3 jolly Chental icicle crashes.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Delta Munchies is completely nuts.
Yeah.
See,
I've used
Really
that
nuts.
thing a couple times. It has really never let me down. Like
Yeah, I'll let
I'm
you guys
honest.
talk about my team for a bit, and then I can tell
I-
you
Sure.
you're all wrong, and this is perfection.
okay, so he covered his speed tiers really well. Like that's always really nice to see. Uh, pivoting pivoting is good actually because I have to remember Infernape U-turn. Just like Infernape, Tornadus, Stunfisk, Volt Switch, and
It's
then the Roaring
decent,
Moons,
yeah.
right? It's like overall pretty
Yeah.
good. Greeting,
Yeah,
we
that's-
love
Close to the
Greeting.
team, actually. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's Gaz of the Greedent.
I will
Roaring
say
Moon
one
is
thing that
also
I like about-
surprisingly especially bulky, especially with Roost. So that's why it's really nice.
I will
I-
say one thing I really like about this team compared to the average quote unquote blend team is the fact that with the exception of Delta Haxorus, it's very hard to one-shot any particular Pokemon on this team. So, and they're all still exceptionally strong. I think Blend said this team's average attack stat is somewhere in the market of 105, which is like crazy, obviously. But like it's also to the point of like you legitimately struggle to OHKO basically everything on this team with an unboosted hit, which is actually really interesting for a Blend team because he still has a super strong offensive prowess. Obviously, it's a Blend team, but like it's also not like you could create a ton of counter pressure very easily, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. One thing I will say that no one's mentioned is people should be proud of me. I drafted an actual hazard game for once.
let's go.
I have 3. I have
Yes.
some like 3 real removers and multiple rocks and spikes mons, and woo. Actually, I don't have
In
multiple
fairness,
spikes mons. I
you can
dropped
still
them.
make the joke that half of it is Glamora.
Yeah, it is. It is, but
Yeah.
hey, I could bring deep
Gamora's
on
pretty
easing
fucking
and
good,
rocks.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, Infernape, Fisk, and Gomorrah are 3 real rockers playing. Good job.
Yeah. I did a thing.
Does
Fisk
rock? I guess it can rock. Yeah, like it's scary.
Yeah, it can rock. But yeah, this was basically like just throwing some goobers together I haven't used. I haven't used Stunfisk in a long time. Haxorus and Moon I've never used. I've actually never used Escav. Terra Nape looked kind of fun because I feel like Infernape in general has been a bit power crept.
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately,
but with Terra, it feels good, and also with Terra, I can do S's favorite thing and bring the Fat Monkey.
Let's
I can bring
go.
Fat Will-O-Wisp, Slack Off Monkey.
Heck yeah.
I love random Will-O-Wisp. I love random fast Will-O-Wisp. Shout out to Will-O-Wisp Gardevoir as well. It's another favorite of mine.
Yeah, and then Torn is here because I haven't used Torn in a long time, and now it has. I really enjoyed recently using just like Specs Hurricane on a Torn T, and I needed a mon to like kind of be fast, and I was like, well, why not just draft like Specs Bleakwind, the mon.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of fun. I am excited to use it.
Yeah.
If we just quickly skip over the resist profile because I don't know how good that is. Oh, it's not the worst.
There's a lot of stuff we.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like
That's
maybe a
not
little
surprising.
ground weak, if anything, but like Giesing's a pretty good answer. I would put this probably right next to Necro, personally.
We putting it ahead of me or behind me?
I think I'd put it ahead, admittedly, just because I feel like it's a bit more structurally sound.
I think so.
A little more tight around the hinges.
I think I'm okay with that.
I agree.
It's a weird metaphor.
I mean, I'd put it 2 tiers higher, but I'll stay with you guys.
I think it is probably better than my team. Yeah,
You're
my
not
team is
quite there yet.
Yeah.
But like,
anyway,
I pilot weird teams, so like I'm
Who is
confident
next?
that I'll make.
Because what is this? This is in draft order, I think.
Yeah,
this is John Paul next.
John Paul.
Oh, I haven't seen this in so long.
That is indeed a throwback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm smiling too much at that, man. I miss Rage Comics so fucking much. Get Wojaks fucking out of here. Bring back the real shit. I want to see again and shit like that. I miss those days.
So as I have said in my meme, that people are so gloriously admiring. Where's the button? Where's the mon that like gives you immediate damage?
This is something I touched
on.
This is something I touched on as well as in my comment. Is like Sneasler can do that absolutely. I'm actually a Poison Touch Sneasler truther. I think that ability is really underrated on it. Sneasler is your best immediate breaker on a team where Sneasler is fucking allergic to hitting the field until the last like 8 turns of a game. Like,
and to extend upon that point, yes, Sneasler is the only immediate damage, but also you have a team where the other way of making progress is hazards, and if we ignore the Cryogonal, their only removal is defog.
Yes. Yeah. Also, just to cover my bases on the Sneasler thing, there are 2 other potential options in like Goltrez is surprisingly strong, but it is primarily a setup threat. And Specs Coco is not actually nearly as strong as people think it is. It's really good when it's quick and T-Bolt and Volt Switch, of course, but this team doesn't have the happiest time killing ground types. It mostly has to rely on its low tiers for that. So, like, it has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
It does.
Also, thank you for agreeing with me, Rage. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, this team is
I love having my opinions validated.
Yeah, I don't know. This team is weird. Like, my comment was like, this team actually has a resist profile because, like, when I'm like, was initially looking at this. Actually, here I should flip to the resist chart. Like when I was first looking at this team, I was like, it's just so random. But then, like, you look at the resist chart, and I'm like, wait, what? This has like 2 resists to everything. It's like,
That's like the one thing that I do like about it is like even just at first glance, like I had a gut feeling that it was gonna be like a good resist profile ish. The
I mean,
thing
it is
that I would
11
point
mons,
out
which helps
is
a lot
that
with that.
yeah,
Just
the
to
thing
be
that I
fair,
would
you
point
have-
out is that some of the mons really have trouble there because of Goltrez and Bronzon's lack of recovery,
Yeah,
and Registeel being Rock's weak.
true.
I just don't think this is it's 11 mons, but it's not. It's a 9 mon team.
Sudowoodo and Volbeat are a little bit strange.
Volbeat can come to a game.
The only reason it'd come to a game is because your removal is Terra Cryogonal, Superior, and Coco.
Or if
Yeah.
you're fighting some really specific, like if you're fighting someone who's brought setup every week, then the random encore can be valuable. But
Yeah, but
Oh, so their ability to cover 110s and speed tiers is based on their opponent's respect for the snowflake. So that's not great.
I mean, yeah. Look,
It's a pretty minor complaint, but it is one.
I think we've pretty well gone over everything.
yeah,
Where are we
I feel like
Might
this
not
is.
be anywhere because they'll-
I feel like it's either top of might win or bottom of might make. Personally, I
it's
think top
it's
of
not in
win
might
might
make.
win.
I'm sorry, it is not in
I don't
might
think
make playoff.
Top of might win a game.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with
It's
that.
definitely better than the Trevenants.
Oh, this is awesome. Wait, that's team number 10. We've only been recording for just over an hour. Wait, that means we're only halfway
Yeah.
done and we've been recording for just over an hour. God damn it.
Yes.
Something's sus. Something's going to happen. We're gonna have a rant on one of these teams.
It might be
I
mine.
can feel it.
Oh no.
Also, look at how beautifully pyramidal this currently is.
Ooh.
Like,
yeah.
This is very
Very
nice.
nice.
Let's
Yeah.
completely destroy it. Don't we still have 8? Yeah, we have 8 teams left. So
Who's next? Who's next?
next is S.
Oh,
I hate it.
So,
Just
Why does it
recycling
say
the
beam
fucking-
again?
Well, because when you're making eye contact, there has to be someone that you're making eye contact with.
Oh. I
Okay,
see
that's
what
fair.
you're
Oh,
saying. Okay,
that's
I
why you
respect that
did that.
actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is S and Egg have gone to the HBF bathroom and are enacting this meme.
That's funny. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah. I'm going to just say that I hate this team and I'm fundamentally against everything that it stands for. And I think that this should be ranked. I think this should be ranked last in Infernal PRs. And the only reason I'm saying Infernal is I'm not going to insult S enough to say Abyssal.
oh my gosh.
Do I think this team will win games at the hand of S? Oh, absolutely. If
Oh, yeah.
I am ranking this team objectively, I'm sorry, but it is only marginally better than Eggs.
So I'm giving a little bit of added context. I've known S for a little over 2 years now, and I have wanted to play them for basically the entire time I've known them. And this is one of the chances to do that because we're in the same div. I don't want to play them anymore.
Okay, I'm
Okay, your
I'm
mistake
changing this-
was ever wanting to play them in the first place.
okay. Who's your S is
I don't
supposed
mean
to?
that as
I
an
can't change
insult, to be clear.
that. I'm gonna change the
you're-
schedule now so that you two have to play.
oh my
I'm gonna
gosh.
play against this. I'm gonna do this. If anyone had any doubts as to whether HBF was rigged, it is.
Oh my
I don't rig it
God.
for myself.
So, in terms of
Um,
actually talking about the teams, though,
Yeah, let's talk about-
so
Yeah.
So there's something that sticks out to me here, which
Uh-huh.
is so I want everyone to do an exercise for me, like Blim did.
Mhm.
Imagine if you would a choice banded Brave Bird.
Yeah.
How many choice banded Brave Birds do you think that Celesteela can take before this team folds?
Well, you terror the Skeledirge and then you're
5.
fine.
And now, in fairness, the Celesteela is going to take a lot of Brave Birds. That was also probably part of the point.
Yeah.
Like I do think this team is absolutely going to have bird problems, especially with like a rain team with a hurricane spammer, which I don't think there are any actually.
This-
but, like
I don't have a hurricane spammer.
The Delta Dragonite
that's
is a
what-
hurricane
a
spammer.
hurricane's a bad
This
example because
team's
of
resist
the-
profile is atrocious, and it's trying to make it work on neutral bulk.
Oh, mine's the same way.
Yeah,
Mine's the
it's like
same
anything.
way. It's just like you have so many flying weaknesses that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of the
Or,
fault of
let
just
me
having
just-
3
I'll
bugs
say-
shoehorned onto this
This is
roster.
The fire and
Yeah,
flying.
go back. Yeah,
Yeah.
go back. Of those weaknesses, of those 5 flying weaknesses,
Yeah.
3 of them are in your top 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Also, hang on. You're
triangle here.
forgetting the best. You're forgetting the best brave word resist on the team, the Delta Kofag. Smile.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
S and Rage, you two have to play each other week 6 now.
wait, did you actually?
Yeah, I did.
What did you swap?
I swapped around. Like one of them was supposed to play with Neil, and one was supposed to play AC.
Well, I guess I'm not playing with Neil anymore.
No, you're not.
In
I have
fairness,
saved-
it's funny.
That's really
Yeah.
funny.
Also, I did kind of want to just. Part of me was tempted because Rage got a lot of help from us in Sky to make Rage's first like 5 weeks just
Be
a
the
gauntlet of
gauntlet.
shove it. Is just be like,
Yeah.
you are getting no prep help for the first half of the season. And then after that gauntlet, put them up against like Zero,
Just like
Charlie, just you death by perfection.
Oh my
To
god.
make the schedule as hard as
Make them
possible.
make him relegate all over again.
I was gonna say that's
Yes.
just mean.
I could have done the same thing to Zeb. And just put both of them through a gauntlet and then rigged Sylv's play. Then I could have done the opposite and rigged Sylv to have like the statistically easiest schedule that I could think of.
I feel
But I
like your
didn't do that.
standards are too high for that.
Yeah, well, it's my standards are absolutely not too high for that. My laziness is.
True.
True.
What's the difference?
It would require reworking the schedule formulas, and that actually
Yeah.
takes effort.
Yeah, and I just did that for one matchup, and that took effort. So, like, no thanks.
Yes.
But yeah, where are we ranking this team? Because
I mean, yeah, it's an S team. Like,
Welcome to
I
Insurgent
am
Stall
afraid
featuring
it's going
bugs.
to get-
Okay,
I'm putting.
can we?
I want to put it in going to Brazil. I will hear justifications from other people as to why it shouldn't be.
Can we compromise and just put it smack dab in the fucking middle? Because I feel like this team's not
Well-
terrible even without the context of it being an S team.
I think it is pretty terrible. Like
the lack of momentum to get him flying on, I think, is going to be a problem.
the only 2 mons that kill things on this team are both bug types.
Oh yeah, my teams are fundamentally not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
it's
still don't think it's going to Brazil because I don't want to even give the most backhanded of compliments to Egg's fucking team.
No,
when
no,
they're
no,
not
this-
putting it in the same tier.
If it would be going to Brazil, well, there's going to be more teams going to Brazil because Times still exists.
The Goofy Goober crew.
Spoilers.
Yeah, no, it's not spoilers. Times has been going to Brazil every season of HBF and still
and then
wins
still
the league
clapping
somehow.
all of us anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
I can
Let's just
compromise
put
the
it in
bottom
like
of might win a game.
win.
I
Might win
think that's
against
probably
Fire.
where it's
Win.
gonna go. Yeah.
Might win
Okay.
and then move on with our lives.
Yeah, let's keep
Okay.
going. AC.
Honestly, good team.
Yes.
Flynn, what on earth is this?
So funny context, and I did this for AC because they're also Australian. There was an
Yeah.
Australian ad going around a couple of years ago for pads, and the ad was
Yeah.
a dude who dressed up like Thor, wearing them and like doing cool fighting moves in the mirror as his wife walks home. And I thought that looked like Mega Glade.
That's kind of cute,
Okay.
actually. I kind of like that.
Incredible
Yeah.
gameplay.
Yeah, so like what other this team is also just egregiously boring. Like what the fuck sort of meme am I going to do? Oh, you
Okay,
took a
This
you
team
took a
is
mega
really
between.
boring, but I like it.
Oh, it's
It's just
good.
fundamental
It's just
Boring but good. Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
It-
surprise!
it's like
we
an
took a
OU.
mega
It feels like an
between
OU
box.
team.
Let's
like an
take a
insurgent
great
team.
Tusk in the Corviknight as a really good core that helps remove Milotic Delta. Let's round that core out with a Spadef mon that can also click a button. Hydreigon is here as setup and can specially hit things. Terra Prim, Terra Wheezing seems good. And then Gren is like, oh, we have a spinner. Why not just put spikes on this team? Ordino is awful, and I hate that mod, and it should be yeeted into the sun for 4 points.
It is.
Yeah, this is just a good team. It's not great. It's just a well-built, like, decent team.
Yep, agreed.
Can we get the type chart?
Is there anything, at all relevant in the type chart?
And then,
Really? This looks pretty good.
yeah,
That's probably fine.
This is what I mean. Like, I could rank this team and talk about this team in maybe 15 seconds.
Yeah,
this
there's
is-
just not much to talk about.
Do we just
this
put a
is
bottom
top-
of will make?
I think it's
so.
top of
It has
mine.
both upside the Necro and
I think it's
Blends
top of
team,
mine because I think mine and Necros are just sort of like they have a scariness about them. Wait, top of will.
Understand that. This
Oh,
is kind
I-
of just. This is kind
Yeah.
of just an insurgents team.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's just
That's fine.
Great
I can
stuff.
understand that.
it's just a bunch of guys, and then they're good. So yeah,
Yep.
It do be a bunch of guys.
yeah. If you were teaching
Yeah.
someone how draft worked, like this would be the team that you'd use.
Yeah.
Because this is the team
Yeah,
that's
this
just
is
in the
This is
middle
a pretty
of
good
all of the
example of a
playstyle.
solid draft team.
Yeah, it follows
Yeah.
my rule of like 2 mons above 110 or at 110 that can come to every game, or 3 that like might come every now and again. Follows that. It's got good scarfers, it's got good removal, it's got a good resist profile, it hits all the types, has a good fairy dragon steel core if anyone still cares about that. Like, yeah,
I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I never did
Hell.
actually.
yeah. I mean, I
I'm
did
a-
for about 5
I'm a-
minutes, and then I clicked buttons.
Yeah.
I'm a contrarian who doesn't like type cores. I'm very
Yeah.
intelligent.
Yeah,
I'll do
so
it.
I think let's move on.
Hey, look, it's Rich.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Hi, Rich.
I will
yes.
say a few words and then let you guys say whatever you're about to say.
Sure.
Basically, all the good deltas got taken before my pick, so mostly the people in this call said, "Hey, try Rain," and I was like, "Sure." And then I got that Delta Lopunny round 3, which apparently shouldn't have been there.
Okay. So,
And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Go ahead.
Okay.
so
let
did
me-
you
let me
know that
tell
Mega Delta Lopunny learns Lovely Kiss?
Yes, yes, Mom. Everyone in the league knows Mega Delta Lopunny gets Lovely Kiss.
uh,
Because you have
Mega
either
Delta
forfeit- you
Lopunny
have
is
either
the reason why I got a forfeit loss in Egg because I thought Lovely Kiss distribution was larger than it actually was.
It was
Yeah,
very
It's the
so-
reason
but,
that I'm in Skydiv because I fucking clicked turn 1 and put the tornadoes to sleep.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The reason is because
Yes.
we didn't have Terra Preview yet, the reason is we didn't
Yes.
have Terra Preview, so my op didn't know I was Terra Poison like in Dusk. That I
Yeah.
murdered their Brigadier with it. But anyway,
Yeah.
I like this squad. In terms of Insurgents Reign, it's not the strongest Insurgents Reign I've ever seen. Mainly just because it doesn't have both of the funny buttons of the Insurgents Reign Electrics, but like it's still a very solid team. Like
Yeah.
I mean, very
Uh,
rarely though does a team get both type.
oh, I
and
know it's
deep.
very rare
Usually
that
the
they
only-
can
Yeah.
get both.
Yeah. No. Team
Our
Giant.
Chaludon is also just quite good on Rain on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is, let's pretend the Enamorous isn't there for a moment. The 5 out of the other top 6 are very standard Rain, and then from there, like the Enamorous, the Decidueye, the Toad, and the Foratress, I just feel like aren't the best use of points. I think in terms
I
of
think
Rain
Toad-
teams,
Makes sense. Toad's got switch swim.
That's fine.
It's also the water
Terra-
immunity, which is very relevant.
my
for
my
Rain team.
issue with it is it's a 3rd water type. It's also got a Terra tax,
Lynn?
so it's 11
Lynn, you're
points.
complaining about there being too many water types on a fucking Rain team.
It's also 1
shut
point
up and
Terra
listen.
Tag,
Shut
one
up and
course.
listen for a sec. It is 11 points for a Terramon that's like you're going to bring Overcool most weeks, and
1 point Terra
think-
Tag, 1 course. So not much.
yeah, but my point is, I just don't think it's needed. I would have much preferred a second Terra option for when this team doesn't want to bring Rain. For when you're bringing something like multi-scale Surf plus Lop plus like Enamorous and something else. And you can have like maybe if you even just bring just the Dragonite and the Serp, or you bring like a defensive Archaludon. This team doesn't really have a no rain mode because of the picks that have been made. Like I think Fortress is awful. I think it's a real waste of 5 points, especially when we've talked about some of the other spinners that are in 5 points. Genuinely, I think Bramblegast is a better mon than Fortress. Decidueye is
That's an insult to Bramblegast. What the fuck, man?
I don't like Bramblegast.
Don't compare it to fucking Fortress, even in a positive way.
They're both cheap round balls that do the spin. Like, side note, I think one way to make Bramblegast a good mon would have Defog trigger Windrider. I think that should have been a thing. But yeah, I feel like this is an okay rain team. Like, if I bring up last season's stock, I can't remember who had rain last season, but I just feel like there was a better spending of points. It might have been like the Sky Rain team.
In fairness, this team was originally going to have like Delta Torterra, I think.
Yeah.
And then that went.
Like, if I look at the doc, so Overcool's 10, so you actually had 14 points worth of Terra available to you. And there's like a Delta Golurk with Terra, I think would be really cool.
That's too expensive, I think. I think that's 15.
No, it's not. It's 14.
It's 14?
Yeah, something like a Terra Tapu Bulu to break the water types that this team is going. Like, yes, Dragonite breaks waters, and yes, Archaludon breaks waters, but the team doesn't love switching in to boosted water types.
Again, it's partially.
I know that's why the Toad is there, but you kind of want, like, I'm talking about, I don't think the Toad, even a Terra Okidoji, which I think is like a really nice one. Again, it's double fighting, but you get what I mean, where I think like another piece that would have fit the non-rain part would have been a better use of the points in those bottom three. And I think Enam is fine. Like, Enamorous is fine. I do think that if you're going to go as hard in on rain as you have done with this team, that you want a flying type that at least clicks Hurricane.
Yeah, fair.
This is fair, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's good, and it's going to win games because you've got the top 5 that are going to kill things, plus an Overquill. But I also think that there's a decent chance that this team gets into a position where they kind of have to sack them on to get Serp in, and then they're sort of like, do I have to sack the Serp to try and get the Dragonite in? So you sort of, once you get behind with this team, I feel like you're going to have to play a real big catch-up game, because they'll need to be like, sack another couple of mons to get into a position where you could start going on the offense again.
Yeah, I think it has a little bit more of offensive prowess than you might be giving it credit for, but it's definitely a fair criticism that I do have to play.
I'm not saying it doesn't have an offensive prowess. I'm saying it's an offensive prowess that loves being it. It's a very much, I think the best way that I describe the offensiveness of this team is it's a very much a win more team. Like, if you're winning, you're going to win big. But if you're on the back foot, like if you're down 6-4 in Mons, I struggle to see without like a D-Knight sweep or something like Scarfanam or Archaludon getting out of control, like you bringing that back.
True. Although, to be fair, like playstyle-wise, at least specifically with me, my quote-unquote strong suit is creating profitable early games. Like, that's generally what I strive in.
Oh, yeah, and that's why I didn't say anything in drafting, because I was like, it's fine, it'll work for you. But I just, objectively, as a team of 9 Mons, I'm not in love with it.
Yeah, fair.
So, should we look at the type chart?
Yeah, there's one major issue.
Your Fairy Resist is a Fortress.
Yes.
The Ghost Resist is an Overquill.
Also that.
Yeah. What are the Ground Resists? Because one of them
that much, but yeah, those are two very.
One of them. It's a Decidueye and an Amorous.
Yeah, so ground types of coverage also kill you. At least you kill them with your 3 water types.
True.
Yeah, but That's what I that also furthers my point of like, if you're behind, like Specs Shadow Ball is gonna make you cry.
True.
But yeah, let's rank this team. Where are we putting it? I think it's somewhere in the middle of might. Let me look at Zeb's team. Do we think this is better than Zeb? I think Zeb is more balanced, but this team is probably stronger overall.
I think it's better than Zeb's team.
I think
I think it
just
I think it's
Insurgent's Reign is so fucking powerful on its own. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like, I would put this either side of Gus. I haven't decided if I like it, if I like Gus's team more or less than this. I think,
fair, yeah.
yeah, I'll let you guys decide, because I also do really like the composition of Gus's team, but I think this team is naturally just a bit stronger.
I think I would give the vote to
the right
Ghost.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think like the team comp of Gus is like, Gus I think facilitates the win con better. But I can see this team going ahead of it.
Yeah.
I think I do like it slightly better than Gus's team.
Yeah, I definitely don't like it better than Sylv's team.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I
think
get what
do think personally I got directly to the right of
Sylv had Mellow Mime, Lano T, Goldango, Delta Lax. Sylv's team is the really strong top 6 that ruined it with Terra Cyclizar, Quillfish, Beldum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot.
So
let's move on.
We're up to Obneal, the person who now doesn't have to play the stall team, so they can thank me. Please enjoy the
Shrek
game.
busting a nut?
Because look at Shrek's face and then look at Xbound's face and tell me they're not the same.
Oh, I see.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same. This is also at the point where I got told to hurry up, so the meme quality might be going down. Yeah, this team's fat. I honestly don't know what to think about this team, because I hate
this team
with a
one, so I'm
passion.
gonna refrain from commenting.
I hate Aloe. I hate Aloe round 4, but I do love the Trick Room option. Lilligant Water and Lipard I think are some underrated mons. I really don't know why they bothered to spend the points on those bottom 2. That's 7 points.
Executor is one of their Trick Room setters. I've actually used
fair.
Alone Eggy. I've used Alone Eggy before as a Trick Room on. It gets teleport, actually, so it's
fun.
decent.
Yeah, that could be fun. But surely there's like a 7-point Trick Room setter that's just better than.
That's a look at the doc, but it's
another Trick Room setter with the Sloking Gower there?
Yeah, I mean it's nice to have a second. Also, Daka gets to click it.
But looking, Chili Reception as a Trick Room setter actually isn't as good as regular Slokin.
Yeah,
because generally does prefer port.
Yeah, because it means that you're coming in and then your mon that you're bringing in is forced to take damage, which is not.
I like the Zoroark because I think you can frame it your team's already going to have a tough time switching around this team, so having a Mega Zoroark, just being fast, clicking strong button, seems kind of nice. I will say that this team, I don't get the round 3 Delta Sizzle. I just don't.
I don't. I think this team early for sure. Yeah.
This team apparently really.
He was gonna take Scyther, but he forgot that he was going after me in draft order. So of course Scyther was never making it to him ever.
Yes.
So we're going to do the exercise again. I'd like you to just cover up the Aloe and the Scyther, and imagine that imagine that it's a typical round 3, round 4. And then I think this team is really strong. I think getting those mons in that position where if I look at the dock at some of the other round 3, round 4 mons, there was an Iron Moth, there was a single Urshifu, there was the Celebi that times took round 3. I got Roaring Moon Delta Escav round 3, 4. Delta Lax was there round 4. There was a lot of good things. Mega Delta Metacham went like round 5. But I just think, the quality of those mons, I think, is hurting. And I'm imagine if you took that Magneton and like spent those 4 points in upgrading the Scizor and the Aloe, which I think might be hard to do now just because there's not a lot left.
The war is pretty barren, yeah.
Yeah, like the high point stuff is like Chiyu and Kyurem, Blood Moon, like stuff that doesn't really fit. But if you grabbed it in the time, like I genuinely think this could be the best team in the league. If we just sort of made those 2 picks a little bit better, even if it was just replacing Aloe for a better mon and like getting Sizzle round 4.
Yeah,
because I don't really see the need for Aloe here. Like you've got the Lilligant,
and you also have the Slowking, which is just arguably better at our job.
Yeah, one thing, like, actually, why don't we have a look at this? If they dropped the Aloe and the Magneton, could get something like Iron Hands actually look kind of nice on this team. A slow momentum, or if you want like a little,
it's gonna be good, yeah.
Or even
I do think they want an actual bird resist because currently their bird resists are Stack Attack and Magneton.
Or even like if you want an actual bird resist, I mean, Iron Hands is a great bird resist. There's also Aegislash. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I could do like AEM's team.
Yeah, there's Jirachi. I don't really like Jirachi, but it's an option. There's that Delta Golurk. I do actually kind of like a fighting type on this team because I feel like this team's gonna like if you're actually no, there's a Scizor. I forgot that's fighting type.
Yes.
Yeah, like I think there's just ways that this team could be improved, and then it would be one of the best teams.
Yep.
But if we rank it for now, like if we look at the resist profile, I assume it's pretty good. Double steel type usually
we should
does
look
that.
at that quick.
Yeah,
it looks fine.
There's nothing wrong here.
A little fighting weak, but
it's a bit fighting weak, but you got
fighting weak, but you
Gloking
also
and a
have
Spider Gross. Like Gloking Spider Gross is enough.
True, yeah.
The immunity isn't real, but the 2 resists are really good.
Yeah, true.
Actually, one thing, if they wanted to keep the fat of Aloe, take the Magneton and Aloe and make it into a Clefable. And then there's just another teleport mon.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I'd recommend here, but let's rank it. I definitely think it should be up with me and Necro.
I think it will make. For sure.
I think I'll have a look at Necro's team.
I think I like it better than mine, to be honest.
I think it's pretty similar to yours. Like it's very much.
I think I can agree with the middle placement. It admittedly goes because it goes a bit against the we're analyzing it in a vacuum to say this, but like the fact that so many people didn't get a good normal resist and you've got a Terra Exploud.
I have seen the war crimes that thing can do. I am genuinely terrified of it.
I ran a calc.
And I have a Mega Milotic.
Let's run a calc. Exploud with what's the ability called? It's like
Amplifier.
Amplified, choice specs, Terra Normal, modest boom burst. Mega Delta Milotic takes it really well.
Yes, imagine
that. Necro, you have the Mega Milo. If you are max HP, max Spadef Calm, what do you think you're taking from a Terra Normal boom burst?
I think it does like 55 min, if I remember correctly.
65 to 77.
Yeah, I know it to a KOs. Like, I think I literally played that exact matchup where Webneil beat me in quarters with Terra Exploud when I had Mega Milotic.
You can die if you could just straight up die if there's 3 layers of spikes, which I know is like a big if, but that's heinous.
Yeah. And this is a Mega Milotic. Like, this thing is very, very Spadef.
Yeah, it's,
Delta Red Dice, which has 200 spare, gets 2-shot comfortably through leftovers.
Yeah.
It is very strong. Like,
Yeah, I think the middle is decent.
like
Like,
I
I'm
think
not
I
gonna-
like straight up told. I think I straight up told people that they needed to up the price of that thing, and I think we actually did increase its terror price because I was like,
Yeah, I
this
think
thing
it was
is
like
way too strong.
Actually, I've got last season's doc open. Who had it last
No,
season?
you have to go
it's
back to
what,
season
11
8.
now?
I think it's 11. Yeah. Season 8 is when I faced it.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm not gonna go back that far. Fuck that. Yeah,
And then
last season it was 9 points for Terra, and it's gone up again to 11. Because
I think that is very justified. That thing is just stupidly strong.
Can we just talk about last season? It was 9 points for Terra Xcloud, and it went undrafted across all 4 divs.
Because Webneil wasn't playing.
Yep.
Probably.
But yeah, no, I think middle placement's good because I'd say this is a real touch and go with your team, but I think it's like a hair better.
I think so.
Yeah.
I definitely see
I
the
can agree with that.
there.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one.
It's Palm.
I love
But
Hatsune Miku.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I will say this for context, just to be clear. In my prep channel when I was talking about drafting this team, I said,
Yeah.
I could get Ben Kirchin, but not being cringe is more important than having terrain on a team with 2 Quark Drive Mons.
So
It's a conscious decision. I want you to know this.
So I'm gonna get into this team.
yes, go ahead.
This team, there's a Terra Florges, and I don't like Terra Florges. I don't like Florges because Florges has 0 ways of punishing a steel type switching in on it, other than clicking baton pass or doubling.
Well, I mean, Terraflor
fixes,
doesn't do that.
Terraflor fixes that problem until you realize that the other Terramon is Rillaboom, and Terra Rillaboom is just better, and is going to want to come to almost every game because Rillaboom gets benched when there's strong like fires or flyings that it can't break. Terra Rillaboom can break those, so Terra Rillaboom shouldn't be benched.
And it also sheds the shit.
Yeah, I also think that just Terra Florges is just a bit of a waste of points here. Like, I would prefer to see a second Terra cap that likes Terra but doesn't need it in the way that Florges does. Like, there's 9 points there, and then there's another 6 in Typhlosion and Rose. Like, that's 15 points. Even if you don't get another Terramon, like, taking those and getting a like decent fairy for 15 or so. Like, you could do the real funny and get Tapu Lele and get triple terrain. I mean, double wrong terrain.
I actually considered it, but it was a terrible decision when one of my main mons is. Oh, I will also say, I think my team is fucking dog shit. I think this team is terrible.
I don't think so.
I think I'm going to have an incredible. Okay, I'm being hyperbolic. I think I'm going to have an incredible amount of fun with it. I am not under any delusion that this team is good though.
I think this team has 6. This team has 6.5 good mons. I think the 6.5 good mons are solid, and by 6.5 I mean
because it's definitely not the Terraflorges.
Yeah, the half is the Registeel.
Okay, good. Because for the record, I also agree with many of the Florges criticisms. It's just that Florges was one of the only mons that had both Spadef and removal is the other reason that it's here.
Yeah.
Removal's kind of shit.
To be fair, like, I just yeet the Florges, yeet the Typhlosion, yeet the Roselia, and potentially yeet the Registeel. Like, get rid of those 4. You actually have quite a lot of points to work with if you get rid of those. Like, that's
the problem is there's nothing to get with them.
There's 25 points, and I think you can get 25 points and get like 3 really good mons. That's an average of 8 and a bit points a mon. Like you get one that's about 5, and then you can get 2 solid 10-point ones. As long as one of them has removal, I think you're fine because Blastoise is not only
Blastoise is
like
good.
quite
It's
decent,
all right.
but it's also can come to a lot of games here. Like it's not in a weird spot.
Yeah, I like Blastoise.
Yeah.
To be,
And I
I
just
could absolutely see this team changing over the course of the season. Like,
yeah, I think
we'll see
like,
how it goes. I want to try it out a little first, but
it's one of those teams that I think is just you've done a little bit of an abyssal here, and you've kind of started so strong and then just thrown.
oh yeah, it's probably very true.
Yeah.
Also, Palm also made this clear in the prep channel that was mentioned, but they have unfortunately taken the Necro approach to the type chart and have done a worse job at it. Granted,
yeah.
there is a lot of neutral bulk here, so it might be workable, but there is a lot of type issues here.
Oh yeah,
What's
the
the
main one that I know is I am. Look, if Regirock can't take it, I'm probably
Ghost
screwed.
Resist. What is
It's,
the code?
it would be
Ghost
Rosalia.
Resist is Delta Rosel. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of type issues here, and basically it's neutral bulk or nothing. Which, to be fair, you have a shit ton of it, so it might be fine. But there's a lot of type issues here.
Look,
Yeah,
if Reggie
I'm just-
folds, I lose a game. If I lose Reggie, I'd probably lose the entire game with it. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
will also
fine.
say
I'm looking,
Delta Regirock's probably like my single favorite comp mod of all time. But like,
yeah.
it's not
I'm
a
also
god.
just looking at the type chart, and there's a lot of decent stuff that you could pick up. Like again, I've mentioned the Golurk a couple of times. I think that could be a fun one here.
Delta Golurk, just to make sure, because I
Yeah,
zoned out
Delta
for
Golurk.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
I feel
not
like I
correct.
considered that at some point, but
Hmm.
there was some
Another
reason that I
one that-
didn't want it. I don't remember why.
Another one that I could unironically see here as being pretty good is Thundy T.
Actually,
Thundy T, or like
I can see
that's
that.
a lot of things.
just
the only
being like,
thing I've used that mod so many fucking times. I feel like that's one of the reasons I didn't grab it actually.
yeah, no,
But, like,
I'm just saying there's
Unironically,
like
it would fix a lot of problems
In
here.
a vacuum, yeah.
it's just it's a nice mon. Yeah, I think there's plenty of stuff that can be done to this team, but as it stands, I think it's just a bit mid. Like it's probably towards the bottom of mid.
Yeah.
I agree.
I will say this. I literally bent over backwards to make the round 5 bundle work at all, like budget wise,
It
not
is-
team wise.
It is
Just because I
definitely.
thought that it was absurd that I could even get it at all.
Oh yeah, no, I think the round 5 bundle has really helped this team. It is definitely above DJ's. DJ's team is cringe, and it's also bad. So yeah,
True.
thank you.
Okay. We'll put,
I think that's like pretty
we'll put Tom's
reasonable.
dagger
Yeah,
to the
like,
right of Zap. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
so one of these teams has to go into shoe-in. We know that Times is going to Brazil, and the other has to go into might make playoffs, just to keep the symmetry.
Yeah.
Also,
Very
we're
much.
not
Oh,
putting
boy.
anyone to cheat perfection because perfection is impossible.
Yeah,
right.
well, it is when you draft like Ubers. Let's go to the next team.
Zero.
wow.
I found a better cringe thing.
Oh, cringe.
Yeah. Oh, this
No,
team
Spiritomb
confuses
doesn't
me.
count.
Welcome to Insurgent's Darkness.
And even if
Yes.
Spiritomb did count, it would be counteracted by the fact that you drafted a fucking Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
In the
Someone
corrode
please
incident
corrode
format.
moment this man.
Yes.
Ferrothorn is. I don't know why Ferrothorn's here. What's more confusing than the Ferrothorn is the Articuno. Why is that here?
Oh,
What
in
is that doing?
fairness, it does
No.
just have a special attack stat for like 5 points. That's like.
But
Yes,
there's
but
also a
not really
Tornadus
5,
T
like-
here. Why is the Articuno here?
The
Yeah, I don't
Articuno.
really know
Why is
either.
the Articuno here if there's a Torn here?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just.
Worst torn.
Why not make yourself not cringe and drop the Arcuno for a Delta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, why is your Surf Abuser in Darkness a Tentacruel?
That is such.
Yeah.
Also, for
like,
a dark,
Wait a
this
minute.
team is
Okay,
kind of weak to dark.
I want to check something. When did Greninja go? Was that round 3?
Greninja went like round 3.
It was
Okay.
round 3.
So that was before
Yeah.
Darkness started being spec'd into. It definitely went before this because it was on an earlier team.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, for a darkness team, this team is rather weak to dark.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think
the dark resist is a Shifu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also if the Articuno is never coming if it's not Terra, which means there's not a single dark weakness here.
It's just like in
Yeah, but
general,
you're also
and darkness
boosting
gonna be a
all
problem.
dark moves into you though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like neutral dark moves are going to be a problem for this team for sure.
Like what S said, there was a Delta Rosary that became available later on. Why is that not here?
Yeah, this team
Wasn't I the one
trying
who
to
said that?
decide if
Yeah.
Nah,
Why the
S's
fuck did you
is
pick that up?
Mamoswine.
Yeah, I kind of like that the Terramon is a mon that doesn't need darkness, but this team hasn't decided if it's going full darkness or not. Because like you can
Yeah.
build a
With
non-darkness
Surgeon's Weathers, you
version of
kind of
this.
have to fully commit, or like you're just not going to perform very well.
Yeah, I've seen half-committed ones work. It's just not like this. Like you can make a
Yeah.
non-darkness team out of this with like the Taunty, a
Okay,
Shifu Pharaoh,
Here's the thing.
Manaswine, Tentacruel, but it's just not a good one.
If I can rephrase a little, when I say half commit, I mean half. Like a
Yeah.
team that says I have a darkness mode but primarily operate out of darkness, that can work for sure. But this is a team that has a subpar darkness mode and a subpar out of darkness mode, is what I mean.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Yeah.
to quote Ron Swanson, don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing. Like,
Yes.
This is a good one.
Or at least half-ass two things properly.
yes,
True.
at least do a better job at your half-assing. This is more like a
Yeah.
quarter-ass.
Holy fighting week.
With a fighting problem.
Yeah, but also
Oh, Shifu
this
is also the
entire-
only ghost resist.
yeah.
Yeah, Shifu being the only ghost
And
and
ghost
dark
types
is
are still
pretty
boosted by
rough.
Moon, as a reminder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you
Also,
are
that's fucking
boosting
funny
two
weaknesses.
types.
I know
that you
there's a lot of
wouldn't put
resists, but
here.
damn, man.
That is
Yeah,
also
Yeah,
not
this
fun.
whole
Here-
team is either fighting weak or fighting resistant, which is really funny.
Actually,
Yeah,
that is indeed how that math works out. That's very funny.
Well, the forcing your arguably best offensive mon to be the solo check to two types is pretty rough.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
And it can't even
yeah.
check them very well.
Yeah.
All right, I think we probably talked about this enough. Shall we tier it?
Yeah, let's tier it.
I feel like it's kind of shit, to be honest, but not shit enough to be like lower than some of the teams that might win.
Is it just
I think it.
might win above jump ball?
I think it's probably
Yeah, I
like
think it's
here.
fair.
Yeah, top of might win.
It's like
Okay.
probably the worst team I've seen from Zero in a very long time.
Yeah, I don't like this team.
Yeah, I agree.
Real
There's too many
Insurgents
problems.
OGs
True.
remember the Zero team in whatever WPF or whatever it was. That was a 6-mon team with Goddle.
I mean, I think
Sure.
last season didn't we have Zero as like the only person in top tier of
Yeah,
PRs?
Zero
I
had a
think he
really
was.
good team last season. Zero had a really good team last season.
Oh yeah, there was Zero's team last season was Valiant, Delta Hydra, Zapdos, Cinderace, Slowking, Mega Meganium, Terra Cobalion, Terra Coolfish Hisui.
It was a really good idea.
It was a super good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a great showing,
team is-
unfortunately.
Is way worse. Yeah, it's not great. All right,
Yeah.
moving on.
No,
Oh my.
What the fuck am I looking at?
I also don't know what you're looking at.
It's a
So
Pokemon Go screenshot.
the
I
so
think.
I should
Yeah.
explain my comment here first because it is very strange. Buzzwole. I call Buzzwole Butthole because dumb stupid. And Noah Pikaclicks has requested trading Buzzwole for Slitherwing, to which I said no. And this is just
I've
me saying
always
I do not
been
want your
more partial
Buzzwole,
to
etc.
Buzzwole myself.
Buzzwole does seem like a lot of fun. I have used it before, but I want to use Slitherwing. I probably am choking by saying that, but sure.
No, Slither's better than Butthole.
I agree.
What this
Um,
team
I
is
But
like-
also,
But also,
But
I'm running
also-
Insurgent Stall and need more physical tanks.
no, you need more things that kill things.
Fair, and fewer bugs.
Okay, so
Anyway,
let's
Noah
look past
Pikaclicks,
the
we've got a
giant
roster
swallow.
here. We have a Dragapult Delta Regice pile.
Yes.
I think a pile is a good way to describe this because I genuinely can't see any synergy on this roster whatsoever.
What's the game plan?
Greatly
I
limited
don't know what the game
coherence.
plan is.
Yeah.
I
The
feel like
game
I
plan
see
is to
something
just-
of a game plan. I feel like the game plan is very heavily based around like trying to get the Mega Don fan in safely because there's a lot of U-turns in that like top. There's a lot of pivot on this team in general, and I feel like Don Fan's the most immediate offensive threat with the exception of the Darmanitan. But that's Darmanitan, which is it's a Darmanitan. It kills
I
itself.
mean, I'd argue
forwards.
that Terra Delta Miss Mag is a more immediate threat. Like Terra Fairy
Yeah.
Specs Moonblast is gonna go.
Oh no,
against
no, it
Warlock.
is still, but I feel like I'm talking about the game plan, not necessarily the best button here.
Yeah.
I feel like it's trying to revolve around that Don Fan really heavily. But you are
Yeah,
right.
it
The
doesn't
mismatch is a
matter.
great pickup here regardless, I think.
I just don't get it. Like, I'm just really confused. Why is there an Orthworm, a Swalot, and a Mischievous on this team?
It's exceptionally random, I agree.
The Mischievous is for mother-daughter bonding time.
Yeah, okay, well,
True.
okay, that's fair. Like, that's a funny meme. Why is the rest of it here?
Okay, I cannot defend the rest of it, but I can defend the meme.
The round 1 and 2, like, pretty good picks. Dragapult late round 1, that's pretty good in
I
HBF.
feel like
Paired with
I mean, a
Delta
lot of-
Regice, round 2, again, pretty standard. What happened?
There is an asterisk here. Noah blew his team up at Grace, so
Yeah.
a lot of the sequencing that's shown here is not anywhere close to how the team was actually originally drafted.
Oh,
So
I see.
I'm now going to look at the Grace transactions and either clown on Noah more or commend them for somehow saving this.
Yeah, you should
No.
probably take a look.
Saying this, I don't think this is an awful team. Like, I don't think this is even really a bad team. I like this a lot more than
okay,
a
so
lot of
they-
the ones we've seen, but
They
It is
dropped the
strange.
treads. They had Mega Pseudo Wudo and Grafii with Terra Moltres and Terra Luna. Round 4 Terra Lunatone.
Yep.
oh,
Okay.
right, he pivoted away from darkness. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
it's
He
an
was
it's an
Yeah.
anti-darkness pivot.
Huh.
There's
anti as if he
surely
doesn't
better
like
ways
it,
that we
not
could
as
have
if he
done
wanted
this.
to counter it.
True.
There's surely better ways we could have done this. And by better, I mean those last 4 mons are all irrelevant. The Buzzwole is hardly relevant here. Darmanitan was good back
Buzzwole
in
is actually
Gen
one of the
7.
mons I like better on here, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because without
Um,
that, this team kind of
uh,
struggles in the ground types. Mandy would get really overtaxed without that Buzzwole helping it out.
I mean, there's an Orthworm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But like
I think
Dom was
Buzzwole
good
is
in
very
Gen 7.
quality Grandmaster. I think it's okay, but
I think this is just very mid.
Yeah.
I actually think like
Red card.
oh god, that's a lot of red. Why is
So Mandy is the only ghost resist.
there are only 2 rock resists? The rock resists are Donphan and Buzzwole. Actually no, Donphan and
Buzzwole neutral.
Orthworm.
Yeah, it's Orthworm, yeah.
Yeah. The flying resists are Orthworm and Jolteon, so they don't have any flying resists.
Yeah,
I see.
Okay,
Yeah, they have no
Orthworm.
hurricane.
Orthworm's a solid flying resist, but
Not
Oh,
into
right,
a
right.
special
They
move.
have no hurricane resist.
okay, they have no
Yeah.
hurricane resist. I agree with. Yes, you're correct.
The only psychic resists are Orthworm and Mandibuzz.
there's a
Why does this Orthworm have to do so much? Like, yes, okay, this team badly needs a steel type. And out of all the steel types in the board, we picked up Orthworm. Like,
say.
geez,
I think
that's-
Noah drafted the Orthworm with the impression that Shed was legal, which
No,
like
he didn't. No, he didn't.
I don't know.
He knew that. Noah, like, I'm not going to insult Noah and say that he thought 4-point Orthworm was allowed to shed tail.
Fair.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this team is kind of struggles to kill things, kind of struggles to take hits, and just doesn't have a very good spread of mons.
It's weird. It's really
Yeah.
weird, but not like good weird. It's just weird.
I think it's kind of like the background picture that I put. It's weird. It makes you slightly uncomfortable, but you know it's not good.
That is an interesting
So,
summary. Anyway, let's hear it.
I think this is worse than John Paul.
So between Charlie and John Paul.
I think so, yeah.
That's fair.
And then there
And
was
then,
one.
indeed, and this is time.
Okay.
Welcome to the Goofy
Ben,
Goober
go first.
crew.
Oh wait, both confused and unnerved. Those are words that Blin just used for the other team.
Yeah. I think this is probably one of my most accurate memes that I've put up.
Yes.
Right.
Ranking times.
I have
even PRs.
so for the record, I have to play this week 1. I've tried to sit down and prep this like 4 times. It hurt my head and I ran away. This team, objectively, this team sucks. Am I going to lose to it? Still, yes. Because there's just enough going on here that means with a pilot that's slightly deranged, they'll be able to win games. Is Times deranged? Oh, absolutely. No one else takes Mega Delta Pidgeot round 2 and Celebi round 3. Like,
Yeah.
But
I mean, in fairness,
Just-
Celebi is a fucking menace, but yeah, round 3 is probably still a little early.
just go to the type chart for a sec, like the type thingy. Why does this team have a resist for every type except Dragon? Like it has 3+ resists for
It
every
has
type.
3
fairness-
resists for every type other than Dragon. Yeah, which
In
is
fairness,
also-
there's 2 immune. What are the immunities? Go back to the team just to make sure.
It's
Klefki and
the
Diancie.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay, Klefki will come to games. Diancie sometimes.
DNC will come to games.
I mean,
It'll
Not
come.
sometimes.
Also, Celebi's most common Terra type is Fairy. So, like,
Yeah.
that's also a thing.
Yeah,
brought
this
up
team is just. This team is just. I don't even know. Like,
It defies categorization because we know that it's like objectively it's just really weird, but we know how
Hey.
Time plays, so we know that he will make this work.
yeah.
Which is why I said that someone is going to get swept by this Mantine somehow.
Yeah.
You know,
The other thing is
this
like I can't
team
even
might
see.
defy categorization, but it doesn't defy one thing.
Oh, it doesn't defy going bottom of the
Thank you,
rankings.
Brazil.
It is
Um,
it is not going to be able to avoid getting deported. It's going to result.
Oh yeah, I
It's
mean, like,
going to Brazil.
yeah, it.
And
Are
it's-
we putting it above or below Egg?
It's going below Egg. I'm sorry. At least Egg, like Egg has
At least
a
you
good
grabbed the chance.
mon.
As a game plan.
Yeah,
and
Egg
has a
had a
10 yeah.
had a game plan, and Egg's mons like on their own are good mons. And I don't think the game plan's gonna work, but at least I could identify it. I've been looking at this team for 3 days, and I don't know what the plan was, other than to spin a wheel of names.
The Goofy
It-
Goober crew.
It might.
The plan is to be a
if I
Goofy
don't
Goober
know what
crew.
The fuck I'm doing, then you don't either.
Yeah, but no, that's I don't know. If anyone's watching this and has figured it out, please send me a DM because I need to prep for this somehow. And I
At
just
times,
like,
you should
if-
send Blin your paste to confuse
Yeah,
him even more.
honestly, I'm going to lose, but I'd at least like to know how I'm going to lose.
I feel like if Times
Because if you
sends
look-
Blin a paste, Times could bring the same 6 mons with the same. No, Times sends Blin a paste, says, I'm not gonna bring these exact sets, and then brings those exact sets and completely wipes the floor with Blin anyway, while Blin is picking up the pieces furiously, wondering what the Goofy Goober crew is gonna accomplish.
Hey, I can
But that
play mons
fucking.
too.
It's like the.
I can click.
I don't
the
know.
button
The
on
metaphor I
fist.
had left my brain immediately. Damn it.
I just like if we look at who did we rank top? I think it was Ben. Like if I'm playing Ben,
Yeah.
I at least know that I'm gonna lose because Garchomp's gonna get a scale shot off, or Greninja's gonna get a battle bond off, or Katana's gonna sweep me, or Delta Shandy's gonna get out of hand, or Doc Ock under Trick Room. Like, I know there's lots of ways I could lose, but I at least know them all. What the hell's gonna happen here? Like, oh no, I'm going to get swept by a nasty plot Rotom Heat, or a Vanillix. Like,
I sort of feel like
what the fuck?
I sort of feel like the team was just draft as many good resistance profiles as possible. Was like,
well, no, because if that was the case, there wouldn't be a bloody ice type on this team.
true.
Which the ice type has done nothing for this team except make the type chart worse. Because you can't tell me that this Vanillix is coming to a game.
Well, it can set.
This is time. The
Veil.
Vanillix is 100% coming to a game.
It can set Veil.
I think
is
we
like-
should move on. Let's go. Let's have a look at the overall rankings and wrap this up because
Sure.
otherwise
This is
gonna
the
have a
worst
headache.
fucking perfection div I've ever seen.
Oh, I'm
Holy shit.
sorry.
Yeah, we had
How is-
one team in shoe in.
How has my team been voted the second best team in the div?
Like my
I
team.
honestly think that Sky did a better job. Okay, I haven't double checked. I feel like my gut instinct assumes that Sky probably did a better job of drafting than we did. Like, damn, we sucked this season.
Can I just-
What
can I-
happened?
Yeah, what happened? How is my team the second best? Like, there are so many holes in that team. Like, I'm out here playing Pokemon with a pile of Swiss cheese.
I mean, my team is also very jank. So like,
This is
I-
a
I'm
jank
honestly-
division.
I'm
This is
honestly
incredible.
kind of surprised I'm top 4. But like,
Yeah. Look, we'll make it
Surprised
work.
that I'm not lower. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you're middle
night.
of the pack. You have a
Yeah,
round
right.
5 iron bundle. Like, you were never going lower than real middle of the pack. Unless you
Yeah.
actively
look,
threw.
I understand that. But like, did we just all say like, "Oh, I just want to have fun this season" or something, or did we
I
all
mean-
just turn our brains off during the draft? I
mean,
don't
I
get
said-
it.
I mean, low key, I actually kind of did say that going into this season because after
Oh, I
last
said the same thing.
after last season, I'm like, there's no shot I'm going to be able to recreate that. So if I try to do that, I will drive myself insane. So I'm gonna just try to do the funny, and like I got Mega Milo. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just try to do a Mega Milo thing, and like
Yeah.
I'm probably
so,
gonna end up
yeah.
having to change stuff. But I'm gonna try the
Me
current
too.
iteration of the team. I want to try Hoopa. It's kind of the big thing, because it seems really fun. But the problem is that Hoopa makes my like the overall team structure weird. So like I might have to get rid of it potentially, unless it's just absolutely insane.
Anyway, I think we should wrap it up. This has been your HBF Perfection Power Rankings. Where
Bye.
5 used to be 6 people with weird opinions. Anyone who's in those bottom 7, sorry, your team's a bit shit. Anyone who's in the bottom 2, sorry, your team is really shit.
My goodness.
Egg,
He's
the
still
only
gonna
reason-
lose to you week 1 times though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna lose. Just because we have opinions doesn't mean we're also good at Mons. So
Yeah.
feel free to just beat
It
us
also
in
doesn't
main
mean the
season.
opinions are good.
The
Yeah.
opinions are good. My opinion is perfect.
That's
And
right.
I will fight
What if
anyone
your
with.
opinion? Well,
I
no,
will
mine
fight
opinion is
anyone,
super-
and I will bring the bear that we released on you during the application period if you disagree with me.
Oh my.
Who won
so-
that? Who won that? Was it Necro?
Zeb did.
Zeb
did.
did because
Really?
Zeb's a league whore. Well, it's because Zeb's a league whore that like knows everyone.
Yeah. So like,
Oh,
yeah, I was leading for a while, but then Zeb smoked me.
Yeah.
Because
All
my
right.
answer was Necro because he does all of the work.
True.
So
Yeah.
with how
But,
much
yeah.
with how much
I think
his
we-
back is probably jacked from carrying this fucking league.
I think we've had
I
enough
need to
rambling.
let me
Probably
play
done
some
the video.
outro music. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't need an
Blah, blah, blah,
outro.
blah,
I
blah.
just need to cut the recording, so that's what I'm gonna do right
Okay.
now.